no idea how to start this now. This is how we're gonna start it. This is how the pod starts.
Jesus Christ.
this rambling of words about me being an anime viewer and manga reader. Essentially how I kind of function as a manga and anime reader is I get really impatient. So like, let's say I get to like episode 3 and I'm like, wow, I really, really dig this anime. And then episode 4 comes along and I'm like, oh wow, this is a really good cliffhanger. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait another 7 days. So I'll go to the Google and I'll look up, hey, where did episode 4 of, I don't know, AOT leave off in the manga? And I literally just speed read all the way to the end of the manga. And then after that, anime either becomes really dull for me to the point where I end up dropping the anime, or I'm like, yo, I can't wait to get to this part in the anime, and I get like mad hype for it. And there's only a few animes that actually do that for me. Like Jujutsu Kaisen was 100% one of them where I'm like, I cannot wait till this happens. Mushoku Tensei, which is an anime from this past season, got me. And there's like a bunch of others from other shows from, you know, past and present that's currently like showing that worked for me. But within the start of a season, so for example, we'll say like spring 2021, which is coming up, I'll watch like maybe around 10 or more animes of that season. Some of them nerd some of them I will drop, but others will be like, okay, I want to stick with this one. And like, I think this past season, I pretty sure I watched like, I had originally like maybe 12 or 13 shows that I wanted to start like watching from the beginning. Jesus and then I ended up with 8. So 4 ended up getting lost on the wayside, but everything else I watched, you know, completely to the end, and some of them really disappointed me. Others I'm like, others I just wish I had never watched them. And then they were my favorite ones of each season are just the ones that I absolutely love from start to finish. And you don't really get a lot of that in anime as of late. And even me and Rafa had discussed that Jujutsu Kaisen was one of the last ones that like really I loved every single episode that came out. So yeah. Hi everyone. Welcome back. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Hector. So you don't have a job, right?
Wow. That's how we're gonna start. This is how we're gonna start us coming back. You're gonna try to put me on the rotisserie. I do have a job
because you're watching how much anime a week?
Look, man, they come out on like different days of the week. There's 7 days of the week, right? Some of them come out on Mondays. 2 of them came out on Wednesdays. 1 of them came out on Thursdays. I had my whole schedule set up. I remember this is how I would do it, right? Well, at least when I worked at my old job. I would go on break at a certain time. I would know that I had to take my break after 2 p.m. because that's when all the animes that I wanted to watch were officially out. And this sounds so dumb now that I'm saying it out loud.
No, please continue.
I'd be like, all right, let's say it's a Thursday, right? I go to work and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to take my lunch at like 2:30. And you're like, dude, that's such a random time. Well, not really. I'm just trying to convince myself that this isn't dumb and that I don't look bad saying this.
Please keep digging yourself in the hole.
Exactly, yeah. So I'd say I'm gonna take my lunch at 2:30, and then that's when I get my lunch. I sit down and I'm like, I say less, and then I look at my Crunchyroll and my Funimation. I'm like, every single anime I liked of that Thursday episodes that came out were all set, and I could just watch them right away. So I would sit down, eat my lunch, and watch anime, and that's pretty much it. And then after that 1 hour break, I would watch. There were never any shows that came out, or never any days I had 3 animes. So it was always either 2 animes or 1 anime. So I could watch all that in my one time at lunch, or like my 1 hour of lunch, and I'd be set. And that's it for the day. Like that's how I cope with I didn't like my job, so I have this 1 hour of bliss. So that was how I got through my day, Rafa. And you're making fun of me for that. And you know what?
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just curious. I mean, so let's say, okay, so throughout, you're watching 10 shows. Right?
Yeah.
30 minutes a piece, right? Mm-hmm. So that's 5 hours of anime per week? Right?
That's not bad.
Is my math correct?
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent amount of anime watching for the week.
Is that like and what about the manga reading?
Oh, that gets done at like 2 a.m. So that doesn't matter.
That does matter. Okay, whatever.
That's like my. You know how people read at night? with like their Kindles and stuff, and they have like their old people glasses, and they have like the little lamp on the side. And
old people glasses. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me just preface.
I mean, I don't
wear
read,
glasses.
but you know, yeah.
Do you have a Kindle, Hector?
No, not at all. I read off of my phone. Look, I sail the
Wait,
seven
who the
seas.
fuck has a Kindle nowadays?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I swear this is not for the pod. I have a Kindle to my right. It's not mine. It's my mom's, and she asked me to recharge it. It's so.
I don't think it's anything to be ashamed. I actually considered getting one just because of manga. Like I can just have everything on one device versus going out and buying physical books or reading it online, because sometimes I get frustrated watching it on my phone or like reading it on my phone. So I like the idea of a Kindle.
I'm not shitting on a Kindle. I'm just saying, like, when's the last time you heard someone be like, yeah, man, let me get this Kindle right here. You know? Let me pick up a Kindle. Hey, when's the next Kindle coming out? Let me pre-order it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think iPads kind of took over there, right? Like,
right, I feel like an iPad or just like a bigger tablet would do the job.
My only issue is, I don't. Actually, I'm not gonna say what that is. I'll tell you guys.
No, say it.
No, I'm gonna incriminate myself. I can't.
Say it. No, just be very vague about it.
I mean, I guess you guys incriminated yourselves in your other pod, so I guess that's okay. I sail the seven seas.
See, there you go. That's all you gotta say. I already knew you were gonna say that.
To read my manga. So
I sail the seven seas all the time.
And never mind. I'm not gonna start the beef just yet. There is beef, and I'm not gonna. You know what I'm talking about, Rafa. But I'm not gonna start it.
Oh, the thing that Alex said. Yeah, no, Alex is out of pocket. He's out of pocket for that for sure. He's way out of pocket saying that shit.
So I don't know if you remember Renee or heard, but Rafa, what did he say? What did Alex say on your pod?
Because man, we're getting so sidetracked.
This is super sidetracked.
But we're in the playing pod with Alex, John, and Rafa. We were talking about what's that freaking movie? It's coming on Disney Plus. The Black Widow movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we're saying like, oh, you have to have a Disney Plus subscription, and you got to pay additional money to watch the movie. And I was like, and I said I was not going to do that because I'm already paying for Disney Plus. I'm not going to pay additional money to see a movie. I'm going to go to other websites and not pay money to watch it. That's pretty much what I said. And then Alex was like, I'm an adult. Adults don't do that. By the way, says the person Alex who's always asking for free UFC links to the fights, which are pay-per-view. So
and he still does that.
There you go.
Oh my god, the heat, the fire. Anyways, so that being said, right? So I don't read my manga off of like, you know, the other sites. I will say I do have a subscription. Jesus Christ, to Viz manga, and I read that. But the thing is, it's kind of counterintuitive because now on like Discord, there's like channels where they're like, hey, the English translations came out for X, Y, and Z manga, and I'm like, okay, cool. I just read those, and because they come out like 24 hours before the actual release, so I'm like, it's kind of no point for me to pay for the subscription now when I can read it the day before.
And also, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have the premium subscription for Crunchyroll, Hector. They also have manga on there too.
Mm-hmm. So
you're paying money, but still doing it in other nefarious ways.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So I am giving back, guys, but I want to read my stuff sooner than later. Okay, that's how I am. But I guess we can finally say hi, everybody. Welcome back. It has been a long time, and I guess to start it off, we'll start it off like we used to, right? We'll just crack the can right open and say hello to everybody. So here
is that a saying? Crack the can wide open.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
I hope not.
Crack the can open and sit down. No, I swear to God, I've heard that somewhere. No,
yeah,
it's not. This is a very old saying. I'm pretty sure that was very.
I don't think that's a saying at all.
Okay, well, you're gonna make me
continue. I'm gonna hit up Google real quick. Continue.
Oh God. Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode. This is episode 1. You heard right, episode 1 of season 2 of the Bento Boxcast. This is absolutely the most animeist podcast of all the internet, and I mean that fully. We're here coming at you on whatever audio platform you may so choose. We've got you covered on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or any other platform associated with Anchor.com. Yes, we are on Anchor.com, Anchor.com/Bento Boxcast. But of course, you'll find us at our home base, our mainstay, our club room, YouTube.com/Bento Boxcast. Actually, we don't have the Bento Boxcast / yet. I lied. But it's going to be in the description down below for Spotify users, Apple Podcast users, and anybody else. And the only reason we're not having it is because we need to grow our community. I found out that we have to be at a certain point, right, to claim the Bento Boxcast URL, which, cool. We'll get there. I believe it. But yeah, just look up Bento Boxcast on all places, and you'll see our iconic logo. So definitely check that out. Here's the cool part. Here's the kicker. And every episode, the viewers have a chance to add some topic suggestions and some talking points for us to discuss. And the only way to have that happen is if you tweet at us at the Bento Boxcast, or to our personal Twitters, which mine, Hector, is ultra_vman. Rafa's is me talk anime, and Renee, if you actually probably should have discussed this before the pod.
Tisk.
Do you want to give out your Twitter? You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, you can. I'm trying to think what it is.
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I passed it to you is because I thought you knew that by heart. But
I did it. I'm so sorry.
Hold on 1 second.
Honestly, it's Hector's fault. You should have been prepared.
I should have been okay. Oh, got you. It's Renee Alvarez.
I know, it's pretty basic, guys.
Okay, I lied.
It's
Sorry,
clean.
guys. It's Renee V Alvarez. There's a V before.
Oh, there you go. It's not basic.
It's
anymore.
not basic.
Okay, never mind.
There's a
It's not
spicy
clean.
twist to it.
It's not clean anymore.
Or lastly, you could join our Discord. We do have a Discord down in the description down below. The link to everything will be in the description, like I just said down below. So feel free to chat with us and get involved in the community.
Hector, by the way, update on what was that? What did you say? Crack that can wide open.
No, don't make it a thing.
No, I'm gonna kill it right here. So Hector said crack the can wide open. It is not a saying. The closest thing to that is cracked wide open.
I just added my own flair to it. All right, how about that?
You know what? You reminded me of like someone who's learning English. And they say and they they're fucking up sayings left and right.
Yes.
Type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's all right. You can go ahead and keep cracking those cans, Hector. I believe in you.
I mean, hey, dude, I could use one right now. Anyways, as you guys may or may not have noticed, we have a brand new voice on the pod. I've literally said your name like several times now, but everybody, I'd like you guys to welcome Renee. Renee, welcome as the newest member of the Bento Boxcast.
Clap.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. So excited to be here.
And I'll let Rafa take it away from here.
Cool. So, Renee, I'm going to interrogate you about your anime and see if you're actually
can't wait.
worthy to be here. Let's
right.
see. I'm pretending to have a list on my phone. I don't have a list on my phone, but I'm pretending I do. Number 1. What's your first anime you got into? What's the first one you're like, yeah, this is it right here? Anime.
Okay. Don't judge me.
Oh, I'm judging already. Okay.
Well, the first anime that I seriously got into would have to be Naruto. I know I get so much heat from people because it's Naruto, and no, everyone I've talked to are not a fan of the show, but I've been a fan since grammar school, and just a year and a half ago, I actually just finished Naruto Shippuden. So I'm a diehard fan. I love every character. It's my life. I grew up with Naruto. I feel like he was my brother.
Oh, okay.
Just because I watched it at such a young age, and then I just finished it not that long ago. So yeah, that's my top one.
Naruto is the first. So what was the anime? What's an anime that you watched that you didn't know was an anime? You know,
I feel like Sailor Moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I was little, my cousins, they would watch Dragon Ball Z, and then I was more I liked Sailor Moon more just because I was a girly girl. I didn't really know that was a Japanese cartoon. Just because I think I was like 7 when I saw it, and I saw it as just a regular cartoon.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I loved everything about it. I never seen anything like that before on TV. It was very different from like Sesame Street and Arthur. You know, it was
Right.
got these group of girls who are just fighting these villains. So yeah, and then to find out, yeah, eventually that was an anime. I'm like, oh well, cool. I've been a fan since I was little.
Since you're a
So.
kid, right? Exactly.
Mhm.
That just like pretty much us here the same way. Like I was watching Pokemon before I knew what Pokemon was, right? Like I remember this one specific episode where they visit a Japanese shrine, and I was like, why are they in China? That was like my initial thought.
You
Like
say Japanese shrine and then say, why are they in China?
I was a kid. I don't know. I don't know difference. I was
Right,
like,
like how are you supposed to know? Like same with like Sailor Moon. I feel like there were shots of them like being downtown, and yeah, everything was in Chinese characters. But at the time, I didn't know what Chinese characters were. Like I was just like, oh,
right.
cool, that's a funny looking sign, but that's cool.
Right, or like in Pokemon where they're eating the rice balls and Brock is calling them donuts and sandwiches and like that's a weird looking donut.
That
Where do I
really
get
is
that?
actually, yeah.
You know? So no, yeah, for sure. Like I completely understand about that. And also like the thing with Naruto, don't worry, you're safe here because you
Okay,
know
cool.
I don't hate Naruto. I before I would kind of just shit on Naruto just for the memes and for the joke. But Naruto was an anime that actually brought me into anime itself. I remember the episode was where Naruto was fighting Gaara, and Gaara was already the one-tailed beast already kind of came out and it was attacking the Leaf Village.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly where in the fight that was.
Okay.
But I remember Naruto fighting Gaara. Like Gaara was like sticking out of like the head of the one-tailed beast. Like he was just kind of just like hanging out there. I don't know if that rings
Was
any
that your
bells.
that was your first episode? You said that's
That
the
was the
first
first
one you
episode of
saw?
Naruto I've ever saw. What was that
Oh,
episode?
okay.
Like there
That
was a
is a
marathon.
super intense episode to jump into.
Dude, it was like a marathon like on Cartoon Network. They
Hmm.
were showing Naruto the whole day. And I was bored just flipping through channels and then like I didn't like I knew what anime kind of was back in around that time, but because I didn't know what it was, I would do that thing where you're ignorant to things so you don't like it. So I was like, anime, you know. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just see what this is all about, you know? And I put it on. I started watching it. And I was like, this is some badass shit. This is so fucking cool. Like, look at Naruto go, and he's fighting this monster, and it just it took me in. You know, I just went down the rabbit hole of anime, and Naruto was like that show that put me in there. You know, and then I kind of went on my own path, a very obscure path of anime after that. You know, because I kind of started doing my own, looking up my own anime instead of kind of just going down the path that I feel like most people go down, you know, like
That makes me
eventually.
happy. I'm happy Naruto was the start of your journey.
Yes, it was. I you know it's actually really good. Watch this connection here. I'm very tsundere with Naruto. Bam, you like that? You like that, Hector?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a
That
very
kind
that's kind of a leap, but go for it. I want to hear
That's
about
not a
it.
leap. It's not a leap. Okay, so by the way, so earlier today, we were talking on Facebook Messenger, us three, trying to get ready for today, and then Hector and Renee were like, "Yeah, woo, we can't wait to podcast. We're super happy, and let's get this going, guys." They were really hyped, and then I, because just the way I am, I was like, "Pfft, I don't care if I'm gonna podcast with you guys. It's like whatever, bro. Like I was being very tsundere, right? And Renee's like, "What's tsundere? I don't know what that is." I'm gonna explain it to you now. Tsundere is a trope, an archetype of a character where they're mostly known for it to be a girl archetype, but you know, there's also guys who do the same thing, where they come off standoffish, they're rude, they're mean to the other characters, but they're soft and lovely and gentle on the inside. And over time, you find out their true selves. That's what tsundere is.
Nice. I've
Right.
never heard that word before. I was very confused when you said it, but thanks,
Yeah,
Rafa.
no,
That
yeah,
helps
you
a
got
lot.
you. Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty sure there's a lot of terms that I I've never heard of before.
We are. Don't worry. We'll take you down that path.
Yeah, with a lot of the
Of
terminology, it's like Rafa. Rafa knows a lot of it. I'm more so just like I watch a lot of stuff, so I can talk about a lot of stuff. But like Rafa's like I know this term, I know this term. So
And
Like-
do you like find these terms like in the animes you're watching, or do you just like Google search like hip Japanese
Yeah.
terms?
what are the term? What are the kids talking about these days?
Yeah.
These terms are just known throughout the community, and
Okay.
it comes through the community itself. Like there is an origin to the words. I don't know them exactly because it goes into like the Japanese language and stuff like that, which I know shit all about, But I know
Mhm.
soon, the TSUN means like I think it means like it's like attitude or some shit like that, and like that it means like loving or something like that. Like it's two words put in together, and that's how that it's kind of like slang almost in the Japanese way.
Okay.
Like for example, there's a lot of archetypes for these characters, but the two most known ones is Sundares and Yanderes. And Yanderes is the characters that like let's say for example, I love Hector super much. Like I want to marry Hector, okay? And I can't stand anybody talking to Hector. Nobody can talk to Hector, right? And if I see anybody look at Hector, I'm gonna kill them. Legit stab them and kill them. And my love for Hector goes beyond anything to the point that I'm willing to kill, commit murder, and kill Hector and myself to preserve our love. That's what Yandere is.
Wow, that's
Yes,
intense.
it's super intense. You actually know a character that kind of falls into the Yandere archetype. Is the girl from My Hero, the blonde hair girl, the bad girl.
Toga? Is that her name?
Yes,
yes,
Toga?
yes,
yeah.
Yes, for Midoriya. Mm-hmm.
yes. So
There's
you can,
actually a lot of
yeah.
iconic like yandere characters. Like the
hmm
one that I instantly think
Mm.
about when I think of that term is what is it the phone diaries, or I forget what the show is called.
It is. I always forget the name of the show, but she is the most like known. She is like the
Yeah, so she's like pink hair, pigtails, and like so in the show they have like these phones, they're like diaries that tell you about something, right? Like they have a special power, but hers is literally specifically about the main character, and it only tells her details about the main character.
and she is like obsessed. Future Diary. No, is it Future
Yeah,
Diary?
it's Future Diaries.
Yeah, Future Diary. It's a
Yeah,
really good anime.
it's really really
really
good.
good anime.
But
Yeah.
like she's
I've
like
never
the
heard of
most
it.
iconic yandere ever.
She's the most iconic down there. Have you ever heard of the anime called Toradora?
Negative.
Okay,
You
oof,
guys are gonna find out that I have not seen a lot of shows.
it's
So
fine.
Sorry.
that's the thing is like with Rafa, it's like he knows more of like I don't want to call it old school, but that's essentially kind of how it is, like old school
It
animes,
is
and then I watch more of like the newer
more
stuff.
newer stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason I brought up Toradora is because the main character on there, her name is Taiga, and she is like the poster child of Sundares. Right. So, and there's a bunch of other archetypes, but I don't know them that much, and I kind of don't want to go through the whole list. But yeah, like that's what that is. Let's see what else. I want to ask you something else. What's an anime that you like that you feel like people don't like other than Naruto?
Honestly, feel like it's only Naruto.
It's only Naruto.
Well, the people I've talked to about the show, I mean, they don't like. I heard the most negative comments from them about Naruto. Like that's the only show. And I know it's long. They complain about the length of the show, and I understand. And
Right.
the fillers,
I hate
filler
fillers.
episodes, like
I
people.
hate the fillers. Yeah.
And I don't get me wrong, like Naruto isn't a show that I would recommend my friends to watch right now. I only love it just because I was, I grew up with him essentially, so I understand where they're coming from. But yeah, out of all the shows, I think that was the main one where I've gotten a lot of negative comments on.
Speaking about Naruto, I'm pretty sure I asked you this off podcast, but I don't really remember your answer. You say you finished Shippuden. Um, are you continuing on with Boruto in that story? of Naruto's kids and stuff.
I've watched the first episode of Boruto and I enjoyed it. But then I've heard, I don't know, maybe I should just stop listening to people, but I've heard that it wasn't that good, that it's not worth following up with. But I don't know, like I keep seeing posts about the show. I feel like I should give it a fair shot just because I'm such a big fan of Naruto.
On that note, as someone who actually watches Boruto, I will say they are, well, whoever told you that is kind of wrong, because there's actually a ton of stuff of Boruto that is super sick to see. Just the combinations of like people's relationships and then the kids that they had, because like spoiler alert, but just to some people who care, right? So Ino and I forgot.
Yeah, hold on. Don't spoil it for
yeah.
Renee.
Well, no, I mean it's essentially Boruto, like the next generation is people's kids. So she watched Shippuden and you can tell, yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like Ino and Sai, they have a child, and that child is obviously a part of the Shika Cho, right? I think that's how that goes. Their like
right.
connection. So it's like the three people there. So obviously their child has the ability to like control minds like Ino, but his main I guess jutsus that he uses are the paintings that Sai does. So like it's a combination of both, and it's really, really cool. Like there's some stuff that you kind of see from them, and obviously like also Naruto and obviously Boruto. Like the biggest thing is like in Boruto you see that Boruto is a complete 180 from Naruto. So like he is incredibly intelligent. He has like genius level intellect.
Yeah, I've noticed that like the first episode, like he was already like using all his like powers and stuff right away. Like he had control of everything versus where Naruto like was just learning how to figure everything out, you know?
Yeah, like Naruto couldn't even make a shadow clone before everything. So it's like, and then Boruto makes 3 like no problem. So it's like stuff like that where it's a complete 180 from them. But I will say Naruto had some pretty meh fillers. Boruto has some pretty unbearable fillers. It's
no.
That I think they didn't understand how like, hey, we should probably make our fillers a little bit more interesting. They definitely didn't do that. One thing I do like about the show though is that they add, and I guess that kind of goes with like all anime, is like the manga for Boruto is super sick. It's a once a month manga, so like they put essentially like 30 to 40 pages of the manga when normally like a chapter, if they do every week, is like maybe 16. So it's super action packed. Like if you don't want to watch the show, even though some of the show has like really cool stuff, the manga itself is probably what I would say like you should like read if you want to. That is 100% the route that I would take. But the show has like super, super cool stuff. Like there's like certain fight scenes between Boruto and Naruto, and then things like that where like you just gotta watch. It's really, really cool.
Do you think it's worth it? I should give it a fair shot.
I would say it's like a 7 out of 10. And if you're okay with watching a 7 out of 10 show, then yes.
It's just, I know it's still ongoing and it's like super long. Like I don't know. I want to get invested if I know it's worth it, you know?
I feel like,
I
feel like if you are going to watch it, you should try to get on as soon as you can before it becomes a One Piece when there's like 1,000 episodes and it's just too many episodes to watch.
Just like you, who you don't want to recommend Naruto, I dread to recommend One Piece because it's 1,000 and
it's so long.
Animes
it's
and
so
chapters
long.
in. Let me
like,
and it's funny because the people who talk like who downplay Naruto are the people who want me to get into One Piece.
Oh Jesus Christ.
And I'm just like, I know the show, like there's so many episodes and I'm just like, I'm sorry, like it's an accomplishment that I finished Naruto. Like I do not want to get into another show like that. That was too long for me, in my opinion. Too long.
One Piece, the anime was airing when we were children.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When we were children.
Like before Naruto?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were babies?
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh.
When did let me actually look up
92.
the 92. Wow, the year that I was born.
Hold on, let me fact check myself, but I think it's 92.
Because I remember watching One Piece on W
Oh
Kids.
no, 99. So we were all born.
Oh, look at that.
One Piece came out in 99?
Yeah, the anime came out on 99.
Huh.
Did the manga start in 92? Maybe that's what I'm.
I think maybe that's where you got that from.
Oh,
Either
no, the manga started
way,
in 97. Where the fuck did I get 92 from?
damn, that'd be crazy.
But even then,
no, I'm not doing
I was
that.
Either
4.
way, how many years is that? How many years of anime is that? Started in '99. We're in what?
21 years.
No, it started in '99. We're in
22 years.
22 years of anime of anime. Not even just the manga of anime. Like how many episodes? That's like a bajillion episodes.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no. I mean,
impossible.
Yeah, and I always feel bad telling people like, hey, so here's a chart of what anime episodes you should watch, and here's because I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the anime. But if they want to watch just strictly the story and escape filler, there's like sites for that.
That's the only way that would be the only way for you to be able to do that, to watch One Piece. It's have a list of only the episodes that you need to watch and just to catch up. Because if you're gonna watch all the fillers, like, dude, fuck that.
Yeah, I couldn't do it for Naruto. And to be honest, I looked up how many episodes there are for Boruto, and I would probably recommend you do that for that. There's 192 episodes in Boruto, and it is still ongoing.
Yuck.
I don't. No offense to Boruto, but like I said, Naruto was probably like the only show that I actually finished. That was so long. I don't know if I have the time to just get into a show that's that long.
The energy to do something like that again.
It's so long, and yeah, I can't do it.
So, I guess to make it even easier, then, if you actually want to even see any of that, there are only 56 chapters so far of the manga.
That's not bad.
And they're each like 30 pages. So, and you would think like, oh, 30 pages sounds like maybe 30 pages sounds like a lot, but it's pretty much like some of those pages are like just straight up art where like it's just them fighting, and it's really sick. But I mean, yeah, like that's if you care about the story and want to jump into the story, I would say go from Naruto Shippuden and then straight into the manga, because the anime is just gonna take you for a loop for sure.
So other than Naruto, because we've been talking about Naruto for a bit.
I feel like people just think that I like Naruto.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. What other anime? What let's say you have your top favorite. What's some other your top favorite ones?
Yeah, so I actually had my top 3, and I'm not gonna say my first. You already know the first one. We don't have to go down that hill. But my second one, I was actually gonna give it to Death Note.
Oh, okay.
I was not expecting that one. Okay.
I didn't expect that either.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy to keep you guys on your toes. So yeah, I think I found it on Netflix, and I kind of like the whole like thriller mystery vibe from anime. I think that's kind of like my thing now. And I think Death Note like just nailed it.
It's so good.
It's really good. Like it's essentially a mystery, and I love that aspect, and I love the whole story, the whole with the Shinigamis, and I think that's like top tier. Like I would definitely recommend that one if no one's seen it.
Definitely. Hector hasn't seen it because he's a dumb.
I haven't watched it. And
are you not interested? Like
I kind of got scorned by like Netflix, the movie, and then
he watched the movie, the live action Netflix movie, instead of watching the actual anime.
Yeah, but this was for like a Bento Boxcast episode, remember? And then we talked about it for like a long time. Yeah, so I got scorned by the movie, and then I mean I know what happens in Death Note, but like it's never been one of those shows where I'm like, oh, okay, let me go back and watch this. And granted, I will say I'm a big stickler for art styles. Like if I just don't like the art styles, or if they look like way too old for me, then I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
That's you two right there, man.
Wait, you're saying Death Note looked too old?
Yeah. Well,
really?
Because I hadn't watched it for a long time. Like I guess it's been years since that came out, and then
when Death Note looks great, man. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a really nice.
To me, it looks old. It when I see Death Note, this is gonna be it's kind of a wild comparison, but when I see Death Note, I kind of think of like Cowboy Bebop graphics.
Cowboy Bebop is a beautiful anime. What are you talking
No,
about?
I love Cowboy Bebop.
Hector.
I love Cowboy Bebop. I love it. But
Get him,
I
I
liked Cowboy Bebop because of the story, and then I'm like, yo, this stuff looks dope. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I see Death Note, I think of that time period, and I'm like, oh, I just don't really care for Death Note. But also,
They're
I think
nowhere near each other.
I know they're nowhere near each other time wise.
Oh my
but
God.
yeah, I just
And
I don't know.
the movie didn't know justice. Like
That
the
movie was
show
ass.
is 20 times better. I actually own the manga for Death Note. I have the whole collection. Like I watched the show and then I
nice.
just read it again. Like I was so
Ooh.
into the show. Like it's so good.
Have
And
you
that-
have you
Hmm.
sorry, have you seen the one off manga where it continues the story after Light?
I think I read like the first chapter or whenever it was announced they had something out for it. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's pretty good.
It looks really cool. The one off where it
Mhm.
like there's a new guy who picks up the Death Note after Light.
Yeah.
Apparently, it looks. I haven't read it, but it sounds really cool what they're doing with that. But I'm sorry, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to find out if you actually continued with it after. after
So
it ended.
Death Note's up there. And then yeah, I'm just saying my top 3. But and then Attack on Titan, of course. I am obsessed with this show. Obsessed.
Ooh. Now, I guess that is the perfect way to segue into the next part that we have, because I actually have some stuff I want to talk about with Attack on Titan. But
Wait. Before we move on, do we null and void Hector's opinion in anime because he says he doesn't like how Cowboy Bebop looks?
no, I said I don't like how Death Note looks, and I compare that to Cowboy Bebop. I like Cowboy
Okay.
Bebop. Yeah.
Do we null and void Hector's opinion in the anime because he doesn't like how Death Note looks?
I feel like he has to give it a shot. Like I don't know. Like I understand what he's saying because I'm also very picky with styles, but to me I don't think Death Note looks that old. Like I've seen older anime and I think it looks great.
Like, okay, like Death Note looks amazing. I don't know what you're talking about, Hector, but Renee, what's an anime to you that you're like, okay, that's too old. I can't watch it no matter what. Do you have one on top of your head?
Top of my head. So I think I had mentioned this to you, Rafa, but Hunter x Hunter.
Hector's about to have a fit.
Wait. But you're talking about the old one or the remastered
The-
one?
Whichever one was on Netflix, like the old one, I'm assuming. I didn't know there was a new. Anyways, I've heard good things about the show, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. I put it on Netflix. And I watched like the first 3 minutes, and I was like, oh no. I'm like, this is too old for me. I can't.
Oh no!
It's old, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
So-
I tried.
I will say the one that's on Netflix is from 2013. The original one was like early 2000s, I think.
Oh, so the new one came out in 2013?
Yeah, well, the remastered version. So essentially, with Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, it was like the original one that they had put out was like nowhere near the manga, so it was like a huge uproar from like the fans, and then they're like, oh shit, we messed up, let's put out a new one where it is true to the manga, and here you go. Like that's essentially what happened. So the 2013 one is the one that people talk about, which is the one that's on Netflix. So
That's the one that doesn't look great.
if you see the old one, it looks worse. The original Hunter x Hunter, it looks worse.
Oh wow, I thought the 2013 one was the old
The original one is from 99, I think it says.
I think it's 99. Yeah.
Yeah.
one.
No, I get what you're saying.
It just I let the little trailer play in the beginning just to get the sense of like what it's about, and the art style, like I'm just if it's too old looking. And Cowboy Bebop, like, yes, I understand it's an older show, but like, I don't know. I think that art style was just a little bit, even though it looks old, it's still like cool. and like it has a good story, the music's great, like everything about it, like it has other aspects that make it great. But yeah, that's me defending Cowboy.
You honestly don't need to defend Cowboy Bebop though, because that is a classic.
I agree.
But I understand Hector too, because like yeah, if things look too old, I'm kind of just like turned off. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't care how good the story is, like I just can't get into it.
I also think that like the background for like anime, so like for example, Cowboy Bebop is like a space cowboy, like like that's cool. Like just the fact that you're gonna see like these vibrant colors and they're in space and all this crazy stuff and they're flying cars and stuff. So it's like
right, it's like unique.
Yeah, so it's like I think that also kind of goes into it. To me, like Death Note is just like it's very gray. Like there's very dark colors in it.
It has the tone of the color scheme is very dark because it's dealing with a lot of dark topics. Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but like to me, it's like I don't know. When I watch Death Note, it's like, well, okay. Granted, you guys are just harping on the graphics or like the how it looks. It's also the fact that I know literally how it ends and everything. So it's like I'd be watching it and then it'd be like, oh, you, and then it's like, okay, I know exactly what to look out for.
But the thing is like the cool thing about Death Note is that the main appeal is watching Light get into these situations and try to see how he gets out of them. Like that's the main appeal, right? Like how is he going to figure out how to get to L or get away from the cops or achieve the next kill that he's trying to do, right? Like how does he get out of these situations that he gets himself into or he gets forced into, right? For example, like Breaking Bad, right? It's not an anime, but we're seeing Walter White get himself into these situations where how is he going to get out of it? How is he going to move on to the next thing, right? It's the same thing like that, right? Like, yeah, you might know how it ends, but do you really know all the things that Light goes through to get to that ending? The struggles, the choices he makes, the people that come and go through his life. It's not just this is how it ends. It's the roller coaster of that story is what really brings it out. It's what really brings Death Note, like makes it that show, and especially the rivalry between him and L.
I love L. He's great.
He's the best. Yeah. By the way, how do you feel about that point in Death Note where L is not really around anymore?
I was crushed.
Yeah.
When Nier was like, I think L's successor, and when she came into the picture, I was a little bummed. But the fact that she reminded me so much of L, like they had the same personality. She was just, I don't know. I didn't feel that bad towards the end of the show, but I still preferred L.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's still the best.
Yeah, no, that's the way that I feel about it. Is that like it's almost there's almost two parts of Death Note. It's the side with L, and then it's like the aftermath after L. I for sure would say the better part is with L. The show kind of loses a little bit of its juice after L is gone, but it's still a really good show because once L is gone, you're just watching Light and just see what's gonna happen to Light. That's my focus went more onto Light than just to see what's gonna happen between L and Light. But yeah, it's still a really good show. You should watch it, Hector. You need to stop being such a dum about it and watch it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I recommend it, Hector, but I understand like you're picky with the style. Like I get it. Like I can't even be mad. Like I totally get it. I disagree with you, but I get it.
It's like I don't know. Like that's how I also like a lot of like the shows that I watch nowadays too. It's like, can I get behind the art style that's there? Granted, a lot of the stuff right now, especially from like the last season, was like created by the same people. So like Studio Mappa, Studio Bones,
Mappa was everywhere.
Yeah, Mappa was like all over the place last season. So like, and I like their stuff.
I'm like complete opposite of you two. I'm willing to watch a show even if it's ugly or it doesn't look that great. I do have my limits though. I don't know if you remember this, Hector, but the Berserk anime that came out a few years ago, where it was all like CG
CGI,
3D,
yeah.
and it looked so ugly. I couldn't even watch that, and I tend to watch pretty ugly anime sometimes.
I don't know about you, Renee, but like for me, like CGI is just a no. Like I mean, I know like the Baki Netflix show too, like that I can't watch. Like I only
Baki sucks though.
yeah that too, but like anything CGI, like nah, you take that somewhere else.
Wait, was the Baki one with all the swole dudes? Am I
The
getting
swole
this wrong?
guys.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no,
that's the
Yeah,
one.
no, I couldn't. Like,
No, it sucks.
no.
No, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, any anime that's CGI is just like a no
No,
go for me.
see that's another thing. Like Hector's like, oh, I don't like CGI anime or whatever. There's some really good CGI anime out there, and you should try them at least.
No.
Like there's this,
What's a good one?
okay, it's a movie. It's on. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. It's called Gantz Zero, and it
Oh, I
looks.
started it.
It's so good. It looks so amazing.
You said on Netflix?
It should be on Netflix. I think
I
I saw it on
started it.
Netflix.
It should still be there.
It's called Gantz Zero.
It's a movie. It's a movie, right?
It's
not
a
like a show or
movie.
anything. Yeah.
No, it's a movie. It's kind of like a spin-off retelling of the Gantz anime, which is based off the manga.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So what if I told you I put in Gant Zero and there's nothing?
It's not on here.
I think they took
Work
it
it.
off.
GANTZ?
Yeah. Oh, they must have taken it off. I'm pretty sure I saw this on Netflix.
Yeah, I think I had started it like
I
a few
actually
months ago.
just saw an anime on here that I've been wanting to watch. It's one of the newer ones on Netflix. It's called High Rise Invasion. I'm just
That
kinda
looks
going-
good too.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
heard
of.
good things
I just
about
went
it.
off the rails,
Yeah.
but I just saw a trailer of it and I was like, oh shit, I forgot I wanted to
No,
watch
that
this.
looks really good too. That high rise one.
Mhm.
That looks really good. Here, I'm gonna send you a trailer of it.
Mhm.
So you can look at it.
Um.
So when you get a chance to watch that.
So kind of also a side note, right? So one of the other things I used to watch, or I read on the site is what is it called? It's webtoons and like Korean mangas. And if you like, so what do you like about Naruto as a shonen like anime? Like, do you like the cool like he's training to be like super strong and then he like does these crazy fights, or like do you just
I love that.
Okay, so
I love like how every character, yeah, like has their own ability. It makes it like the battle scenes, of course, the fighting scenes are awesome.
Okay, because like I was about to say, there is this. It's a very very popular Korean manga. I don't even know. It's not called. It's a mangaka. So I forgot. Dude, I used to know the terminology for it, but anyways, it's called Solo Leveling, and I cannot praise it enough. It is super sick. It is very unique, and the art style is just super super pretty. It's essentially like a manga, but it's in color. And it's kind of like a comic book too. Like it's in like comic book panels where you go from one to the next, and like it reads like a manga, but it's in full color. There's like huge spreads of like literal action scenes, like a whole battle going across your page, and like you read it kind of differently, where you read it up and down. So, or yeah, you read from up to down. So, like as you're scrolling, you see like a giant, I guess, panel or like just art piece where it just goes straight down your screen, and it's just like a dragon flying or something like that, and it's like super super cool. But essentially it's in the human world, and people can go into these dungeons where they are like classified as like a S tier hunter, and they're called like hunters, part of the hunter association, and each of them has like the ability to be like a shield or like a titan, a berserk, and things like that, right? So the main character essentially somehow some way gets like these powers where he can level up kind of like a video game within a world where people kind of have their limits, and he kind of doesn't have a limit. So it's just really cool just seeing him go from like he obviously starts at level 0, and then currently in solo leveling he's like level 116. So like you just see his progression and how crazy it is, and it talks about a lot more adult stuff than just like, you know, for example, Naruto, which had a kind of like it's adult stuff here and there, but like it was more so just for kids. And then yeah, so it's really cool. I would highly recommend that one to anybody, not just Renee.
No, it's really cool.
It's really really cool. Probably one of my favorite reads of all time. But I think that's kind of great to go into now. What we've kind of put behind us for a very long time, Rafa. If you guys don't remember when we were doing Bento Boxcast Season 1, we would essentially go from season to season and discuss what we're excited to watch. And then towards the end of the season, we come back and bring up the animes that we said we were going to watch or shows that we were going to keep an eye on, and kind of give up a wrap-up and discussion towards, the previous season. And so the last season that quite literally just finished about last week, of you guys, watching, listening to this, was Winter 2021 season. And I know Rafa and Renee have a live chart me up on the screen for themselves to look at, but there are a ton of animes that came out. Actually, this was probably one of the most action-packed anime seasons in a very long time, especially during the pandemic and everything that happened and all the pushback for a bunch of animes and things like that. So a ton of stuff came out within this Winter 2021 season, and I pretty much just wanted to give you guys kind of a taste of what I watched, and then I know there's like a few stuff that we have kind of in common, the three of us. So I'll just give like my spiel of what I've watched, and then kind of maybe entice you guys to kind of pick one of these shows back up or something like that, or maybe kind of hop in and just see what this specific one's kind of about. And I actually have a funny story about one of them, so I'll probably leave that one towards the end. But within the last Winter 2021 season, I decided I was going to watch about 10 or 12 episodes, or 10 or 12 shows, and pretty much only settled on about 5 to 7 that I really, really liked, and finished to completion and watched all of it. So I'll just name 5 for now, just to kind of keep the list short. But the first one on the list is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2. Absolutely phenomenal. Hands down, one of my top 3 of this season. Easily can compete with some of the juggernauts within this show. It is a comedy fantasy isekai. And for those of you that don't know, an isekai is a anime where the main character dies in the human world and gets transported into a new world, into a fantasy realm where they have this, that, and the other that's unique about them. And this one just so happens to be that he got reincarnated as a slime, which is one of the lowest tier characters or monsters within this fantasy realm, but somehow, some way, he's OP. Fantastic show, and the way it ended was beautiful. I am super excited. It actually got me to the point where I want to see if this is it's a light novel, which I don't like not light novels actually.
Wait, the show ended? It's complete?
No, it didn't end, but like season 2 finished.
Oh, okay.
So I have an issue with light novels. They don't have pictures. So
yeah, it's like reading a book.
It's like reading a book, and I don't like that.
I
want a
Is
manga.
that what light novels mean? I'm
Yeah.
not familiar. Okay.
Yeah, so it's manga. So it's like original work, which would be like somebody that just makes an anime without having any manga to go off of, and then it's manga, which it's a manga, and then people make an anime off of that manga, and then there's light novels, which is just essentially like kind of like the Game of Thrones books, where they were just originally just books and they put them on the TV screen. So that's kind of what anime is based off of light novels are. And I really hate light novels because I love seeing the imagery and the art that people make off of the story. So I just have these issues with light novels because they have such great animes, which then brings me into my other anime that is one of my top 3 favorites. It's Re:Zero Starting Life in Another World, 2nd season, part 2. If you have not watched this at all, I 100%, 1000% recommend this show. It is by far one of my absolute favorite shows of all time. It's actually, of all time, probably within my top 3. Beating out some of the likes of Naruto and other things like that. And then my last 3. The show I watched is called Bottom Tier Character Tomozaki. It is a slice of life drama romance school show. Rafa, I have fully delved into the depths of slice of life, and I can say I'm a fan.
Okay.
Bottom Tier Tomozaki. It's essentially like this guy who like loves video games, and like he hates the game of life, but then this one girl comes up to him and says, I thought you were a gamer, so why don't you try to be the best gamer you can in life? And then it sounds very cringy, but it's a good show. And then last but not least, I would say my top 2 favorite animes of the season are in contention for the number 1 spot is actually no, that's a complete lie. My number absolute 1 show is Horimiya, which is a comedy romance school shonen slice of life. That was my number 1 show of the season. I absolutely love Horimiya. I love the romance and the love between Hori and Miyamura. I geeked out over this show, and I am not proud to say that because normally there was like other badass shows within this season, and I somehow, somewhere, I like the romance one the most. It was really, really good. It was probably one of the most anticipated and like must-watch shows of this past season that people were talking about, like on other podcasts and other sites and other things like that. So I can see why people were super excited about this one, and I'm really, really happy about it. And the one that I said that I had like a really funny story about was this one called Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. It's really, really good, but there is a scene within the show that gets very adult. And I had originally started watching the show because I thought it was like, I didn't think it was like that. And I was watching it with my sister, and then it was episode, well, she's younger than me. It was like episode 1 was like, all right. It was like, okay, it looks like a normal isekai. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to watch I think we had watched episode 1 and episode 2, and it looked fine. And the main character is kind of like he was a pervy 34-year-old dude that got reincarnated into a little boy, and was born, and then he grew up, and he kept all of his memories from his past life, and he was extremely pervy. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to watch episode 3 on my own because I was bored. And there was a scene that was very, very rated R adult, and I'm like, whoa, we are not watching this with my sister anymore. You are not allowed to watch this show. And I had to fully not let her watch it because it was not what I was expected. And I'm like, all right, well, no. And then I go to Twitter, and this was like one of the ones that people were like in uproar about because they were not expecting this, for people who like didn't read the manga or the light novel rather. And it was just, I remember when the certain episode came out, people were like flaming this show and the creators, and like, how could you do this? How could you put this into an anime? And it's like, dude, there's been worse stuff in like Berserk and other stuff that was put out. So it's like, I don't know, that one really caught me off guard. But after that one very, very disturbing scene, it got incredible. It's kind of like Goblin Slayer, where you're like, okay, that's a really bad episode 1, and then it gets better after that. And that's kind of how I went for this Jobless Reincarnation one. But yeah, that's just kind of my takes on what I've watched. But the reason why I wanted to bring up kind of Winter 2021 season was because Renee and Rafa also ended up watching a few shows of this, maybe 1 or 2. So I'll actually toss this over to Renee to see what she watched in Winter 2021.
All right. So my list isn't as long as yours, Hector. Like, that's amazing. I wish I watched as nearly as much anime as you do. But from this season, sadly, not sadly, but the ones I've seen were Jujutsu Kaisen, which is, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And Attack on Titan final season. Yeah. I'm in it. I love it. Both of those shows were great. I'm so happy that they're out. Like they were amazing. I can't stress that enough.
And then I know Attack on Titan, I mean, I guess without like fully getting into like spoilers and whatnot, like, how did you actually feel about the 16 episodes that came out? Because I have my reserves on like the last few episodes, really.
Like in terms of like the story, or
yeah, because like so it got to a point where I really hated a specific character, which, I mean, I think at this point I could probably just say her name is like Gabi.
I'm just gonna say, like, are we allowed to say spoilers? Like, I know I don't want to, but
not
really, right?
we could say, hey, hey guys, we're spoiling this or whatever. But I'm not caught up with Attack on Titan, so please don't spoil it for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yes, Hector, I agree.
I barely got to season 3, so
Sheesh, you're really behind.
I'm
But I
really
mean,
behind.
yeah, like that one specific character is because of that one character, I ended up. The thing is, like, normally I get really excited about a show, but then I want to see what happens. But with this, it was like I really wanted to see what happened with this one character because of how much I hate that person. And I was very disappointed when I read the rest of the manga. So
funny. So this season, I actually ended up. I'm not all caught up with the manga. But I actually ended up reading the manga. Just because. Well, first I was getting things spoiled for me like online, but then I knew there was. Yeah, this season was a little weird. Like I think the pacing of it. Every episode you were kind of like left hanging. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna read the manga because I can't wait anymore, and I need to figure out like I need to piece these things together. Which I'm kind of happy that I did because I found out that certain things in the manga weren't explained in the show. So yeah, it actually helped me this time around reading.
okay, and then I think from there, like, yeah, because I don't want to spoil too much for Rafa, but if you had to give the first 16 episodes kind of like a rating, what would you give it?
Out of 10?
Yeah, out of 10, yeah.
I would say it wasn't my favorite season. I think I still preferred the earlier seasons. Let me see them. It wasn't bad. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay, I agree with that.
Wow.
I agree with that actually, fully.
Like, is that's a decent rating? Like it was still
It's above
pretty
average.
good.
Yeah.
It's above average.
I mean, the show's great. Like, I mean, I think it's still, the pace, season is still really good. Like I said, it's not the best one, but it's definitely worth watching still. Like, things still go down. Yeah, I think it's still worth it. So, yeah, I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
6 out of 10.
And then I guess from there we could just go into the one that we pretty much all watched together, which was Rafa. Go ahead. I'll let Rafa start with this one because I know he's surprisingly become a bigger fan than I was of this show.
Right. So for winter 2021, the only anime that I watched was Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm super behind Attack on Titan. I ended up dropping ReZero again. I didn't even touch I watched like 2-3 episodes of Promised Neverland. Like I failed I failed as an anime fan this season, honestly. I've never been so bad on watching anime until now. Before I used to have like maybe 2 or 3 anime that I would watch at most, in the most recent years, but this, for whatever fuck reason, this season I was just like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, that's it. Oh my god, I'm so disappointed in myself because there's this anime that aired this season called Laid Back Camp, which
oh
is
my
just,
god, I forgot about that.
I know, I was so hyped. Like I love this show. It's just a slice of life show where these girls just go camping and you just watch them hang out. It's my bread and butter. It's the shit that I live and die for when it comes to anime. And I didn't even watch it, dude. I stopped watching it altogether. I'm just like, what am I doing, bro? Like, do I just hate anime now? Like, what's wrong with me? Um, other than me being disappointed of how I'm doing with anime right now, Jujutsu Kaisen, it is the best show out right now. It's just the best. I've not seen a single episode that I have not enjoyed, and that's including the baseball episode. Like all these episodes they're awesome. You love these characters. They're great. And the one really really cool thing that I'm loving about Jujutsu Kaisen is that they're treating their characters as like actual characters. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when it comes like with the girl characters. They're not they're not getting kidnapped or they don't need to be rescued. Like they handle themselves just like how you expect a someone who has powers to handle themselves, right? Like, no offense to Naruto, but for years and years or whatever, for the longest of time, Sakura was worthless. Sakura could not handle her shit back in the day.
Yeah, but then she like
But then she did.
becomes a total badass.
Then
at the
she
very
did.
end.
Then yes, like I give you that, and believe me, I love Sakura. She's one of my favorite characters in Naruto. At a certain point, Sakura does find, picks it up and, catches up to Naruto and Sasuke, right? She handles her own, she does her own thing. She has her own powers or whatever. But there is all these other episodes in her past where she doesn't. And you can say that's a character, or you can say like that's her story or whatever, which is fine. But in Jujutsu Kaisen, the girl characters here, they're also growing, but they also could handle their shit, right? Like my favorite one, like, okay, I don't know about you guys, and I'm kind of out of pocket here for saying this because I haven't seen any other anime, but best girl of this season is the girl from Jujutsu Kaisen. I forgot her name.
That is
But
mad out of pocket.
that's
That is
Nobara?
yeah, Nobara.
Like,
Yeah.
right. She's fucking bad. Who's better than her?
Well, that's the thing. You haven't watched anything else.
Okay, well, tell me. You tell me who you think is better than her for this season.
Oof. Let's see. Who would I say is
like
better?
another girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from any anime. See, this is the thing we do. This is the thing that happens in the community a lot. Renee, like there's each season there's a best girl and there's a best guy. So it's like, what's the best character in that terminology? For me, best girl is her. I forgot her name again. So I'm bad with names. But she's just a
Nobara.
badass. She's so fucking cool. Like she handles her shit. Like, dude, come on, Hector. Who's better?
I
Or
would,
Renee?
We're talking about this season?
This season.
Yeah. So like winter 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have to give it to Mikasa. Like
That is a top contender. That is for sure.
Okay.
she's badass too, Rafa.
I know she's badass, and I know because I've seen Attack on Titan, not all the way to you guys, but I know. But bro, oh my god, I love, what's her name again? No,
Nobara.
Nobara. I love her
Is
attitude.
that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Nobara. Okay. No, she's cool too. Like
I
I can't choose. I love Mikasa. I'm always gonna root for her, but I think Nobara, like you're saying, Rafa, I think she's like the way. What do you call that? Her power, or with the voodoo doll and stuff. Like I think that's really cool what she does.
Right, and then especially with the last episode, and she really showed off what she could, like her
She
other
came in
powers.
clutch, yeah.
She didn't even show her full powers at the other fights, and then like her attitude, and she doesn't take shit from nobody, and she'll get in your face and she'll argue with you, and like she's not quiet, and she is
Right.
herself. She is a person. Like she's not like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Like, no, she's like, fuck you, I'm gonna yell. I don't give a fuck. This is what I am. Like, she's such a badass character, and that's the thing when it comes to anime, that you rarely get characters that are like that when it comes to females. It comes to girl characters, Most of the time they're more quiet, or they're just a love interest, or whatever fucking dumb third option there is. They're just eye candy for the viewers. They don't feel like eye candy. And that goes to the rest of the other female characters in the show in Jujutsu Kaisen. The other girl with the glasses who has
She's cool.
she's a
Mai,
badass
yeah.
too, right? Yeah, right. The girl with the samurai sword, she's hilarious. I love her attitude. She's just kind of like, fuck it, I'm just here. I don't care, Like, they feel like I just feel like the guy who wrote Jujutsu Kaisen said like, hey, let me actually try to make actual characters. It doesn't matter what gender they are. They just actually make characters, and that's why I like her so much. She's such a fucking badass, and especially like what won me over, which I was already in her camp, like 100%, just watching it. But like when they were in the last episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, when they were fighting, and then the camera zoomed in on her, and she made that face like, I haven't even showed you my best move yet, and she like snaps her fingers. And I'm just like, I lost my shit. I'm like, this is the fucking best thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. I love it. Like it won me over 100%. Like I don't know. She's the best. I don't care, Hector. Fight me.
Yeah, who do you pick, Hector?
I'll be honest, I don't really know. I feel like To be honest, this season I feel like there were so many like top contenders for best girl. Within that time I got reincarnated as a slime. There was Shion, who literally died for the main character. That's my bad, guys. I kind of just spoiled that for anybody who cares about that show. I literally just spoiled what a big thing. I'm sorry. Anyways, so Shion, it's too late now. I can't take that back. Hori from Horimiya. Beatrice from ReZero.
Beatrice is cool. I like Beatrice.
Yeah, Beatrice has like a huge arc in the new season.
That's good.
What else? Maybe one of the girls from the Quintessential Quintuplets season 2. But I have my own grievances with that show though. And then I guess there's not really like. I guess those would be the people that people would maybe discuss would be best girl within them, but I don't know. Like I feel like within this season, Mikasa or Nobara kind of have to take it because they were the two most popular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the two most popular ones. But I could see people making arguments for Shion and anybody else. But yeah, I feel like if I had to pick, it'd probably be. I would probably actually give it to Mikasa, to be honest.
Rafa.
The only reason why is because it's even more like heavier because it is the final season of the show. So like she plays a like huge role with Eren and everything like that. And obviously when it comes to best boy of the season, it pretty much is given to Eren. Like there's nobody who could really compete. Yeah, you would.
What?
Yeah, and here's why. Because of his. I've been seeing stuff on all over Twitter and stuff saying he's best boy because of how hot he looks now is one of the biggest reasons that people have said. No, I know, but to me it's dumb, but that's literally one of the biggest reasons why. It's because of how hot he looks now and just how quote unquote interesting he is. But
wow.
Like, I know. I don't know about that one. I've seen that.
He is attractive, and I would say this is the season where he's grown up now. There's a seat. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. Darn it, Rafa.
Sorry.
But can I say a small spoiler about
Go
his
ahead.
hair?
Go ahead. I mean, I know he has long hair.
Okay, yeah, like I like the way he has it like in a bun. Like he's attractive. He's pretty attractive this season.
So that's one of the main reasons why people say that he's the best boy.
Let me tell you why the internet and you two are wrong. The best boy of this season is Satoru Gojo.
Oh wait,
he's
Rafa,
best.
I was not saying that Eren was my
top.
top.
Okay.
No, I agree with you, Rafa. I love Gojo Sensei. He is
the best.
Beautiful. Obsessed.
I would let him touch my butt. That's all I gotta say about that.
I say for it'd be Eren. That's a popular vote, I guess. But Satoru is probably the guy in my mind that would probably get it.
He stole the show.
He was literally one of the biggest characters for the entire show.
Like every single time he's on screen, I'm like, yes, let's go.
He made
he shows your eyes.
Yeah, he made Japan News for literally the one scene where he shows his eyes.
Oh,
like
right.
they literally wrote articles about it for that one episode, which is hilarious.
I fell in love the second he showed his eyes. I literally have I'm waiting for my body pillow. My
Dear
Gojo
God.
Sensei body pillow. And the body pillow is just his eyes. On the body pillow. It's just really stretched out.
You see a thumb lifting up the headband and then his eyes. So I guess speaking on Jujutsu Kaisen, right? If you guys had to pick one character that was your absolute favorite from the show, just one.
That's tough.
I would tell you my top favorite.
Go ahead.
It is Itadori's brother, quote unquote brother. Is
his best friend.
I'm forgetting his name.
Of course.
He's hilarious.
Isn't it Toto?
I think it's Toto. I think it is.
Toto.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He
is absolutely my favorite person in the show. He is hilarious. I love that his ideal woman is Jennifer Lawrence, I think is her name.
That is not her name.
No, I think Itadori's.
Oh, well, yeah. Itadori was like basically a tall woman with a big butt. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the point.
And then his is like I guess. Well, Toto's is like this. It's not a model, but I forget what the
She's an idol. A pop
idol.
idol.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
She's
but like
a really tall pop idol. with a
yeah.
big
So
butt.
Total is absolutely my favorite. I just love like the way he says brother and stuff like that, and it's just hilarious. And one of my favorite scenes was when he legit smacks Itadori when they're fighting the guy, and he's like, you know, get your shit together, dog. You're in a fight to the death. And then Itadori is like, thank you, brother. And I'm like, yo, that is weird, but that was dope. And then they just proceed to kick ass, and it was just so cool. Like, yeah, just
he would definitely be my choice for best boy if it wasn't for Gojo Sensei. Definitely, because he's hilarious. I love everything about him. He's this, like, the way they hyped him up at the beginning, you know, like when they first talked about him, I'm like, man, who is this guy? You know, because they're saying like how he doesn't use any of his of the Jujutsu sorcery, whatever, the source of power, the curse.
yeah, his technique and all
Power?
that stuff. Yeah.
The technique.
Technique.
They said that he doesn't use that. The only time he uses that the techniques is when he goes against special grade demons, which is like, that's insane, because that's like the hardest, like the highest level of demons, right? So anything below that, he just beats it up with his physical strength. Like, that's insane. That's how insanely powerful he is. And also he's really, really smart. Like, my favorite scene about Toto was the one where he was when he was talking to the pop idol in his head, right? And so he had a whole discussion with her in his mind, and it's like this conversation happened like in 0.1 second or whatever. Like, that one scene was hilarious. Like, he's a really cool ass dude. Like, I like him. He's for sure my runner up on like best boy of like the season.
Mhm.
Man, you're making me choose between Gojo Sensei and freaking I forgot her name, Nobara.
Yeah.
Nobara. I'm gonna say Gojo Sensei. Dude. He's just a badass dude. He's the best character in the whole show. Like, when he shows up, you just know shit's about to go down, no matter what. Like for example, that one scene where they're getting attacked, and then they have that giant shield, the force field around them. You know, when they were having
The veil.
the veil,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like everybody's getting ready to do like they were doing that thing, that trope in anime where like everybody's gonna have their own fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's getting ready to do their fight against the bad guys, you know. And then next thing you know, the veil just collapses because Gojo Sensei took it down, and he just pretty much shut everything down from there. Like, that's how strong he is. He kind of said, "Nah, we're not doing this. Like, let me just go ahead and end this for you guys." Like, he's such a badass character, and like, he's hilarious. His attitude's fun. He's like a more fun version of Kakashi Sensei, and way more
Yes.
powerful than Kakashi Sensei. So,
And I love Kakashi Sensei. They're both very
Mhm.
attractive.
So then, who would be your favorite, Renee?
Best boy? Is that what we're?
No, just your favorite
no,
character
just
from.
just character in general.
Yeah. So if you had to pick
Jujutsu
one
Kaisen.
person from
From the
Jujutsu
season.
Kaisen, yeah.
Oh, from Jujutsu Kaisen. I love Gojo. Don't get me wrong. I love him. He's amazing. But I think Megumi is pretty.
Ooh.
He's pretty awesome. He's attractive.
Oh,
as
he
well.
is. I know.
Am I saying his name? I think that's his
Yeah,
name,
you are,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Megumi?
Megumi.
You know, I like how he kind of has like I think he like uses the shadows to kind of create these animals, which are
Mhm.
actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's really cool. And then yeah, that last fight scene where he kind of like just goes overboard. Like, that was an insane scene.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna change my answer because I gave best boy to Gojo Sensei, so I'm gonna give the flowers to somebody else, just to give them some props. Panda. Panda's a G. He's
Panda
cool as
is a
fuck.
G, actually. I didn't think about Panda.
would.
He's awesome.
He is super dope.
Come on, Gorilla Panda. Come on now. He turns into a gorilla /
Yeah.
panda. It's so cool.
That was the ugliest thing ever, but it was so cool.
His fight was really good. I love Panda, and I give props to Panda because that's the reason why Alex wanted to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, because I showed him Gorilla
It was
Panda.
a boxing.
Yeah, he was very
gorilla
excited.
panda.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember showing it to him, and he was
Very
laughing about it.
excited.
Like, what the fuck?
I
is
loved
this?
his his little like background story
His
scenes
story,
with like
yeah.
that was sick, where he was just boxing as a little panda and then he grew up. That was sick. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
But finally talk about a disappointment within the winter 2021 season. And I say that with such a sour tone because I want to kind of dive into The Promised Neverland season 2. So Renee, I know you said earlier that you had heard some negative stuff about the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Rafa only watched 2 episodes. And I'm within the same boat as Renee where I heard a lot of negative stuff about the show. And I had read completely from start to finish the manga. So I was super excited for this show. Me and Rafa were incredibly excited for it because we had loved season 1 of it. And I just started hearing a ton of stuff about how this show went off the train tracks. They decided to take a different route to the end destination and changed a ton of stuff within the show.
Oh no, it's not following the manga.
Nope. They said, okay, we gotta go right,
good.
but we're gonna go left instead. And I have not watched a single episode because within I think 3 or 4 episodes they straight up said like, hey, like, why is this different than the manga? And then I heard some wild stuff and I'm like, wow, I don't want to watch that.
That's actually very discouraging though.
Yeah, like now I've heard that like people weren't happy with the way it ended, so I'm now in a position where I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue it. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes and I still enjoyed it. But like I said, I don't know if it's even worth finishing because of now I know the ending's going to be shitty.
Yeah, like I typically don't like when anime tends to kind of do their own thing when like let's say there's a manga and then they start doing their own thing afterwards. Like for example, I just don't have a good track record with it. Like the first run of Fullmetal Alchemist, they didn't follow the manga. And then they actually came back around and did a whole new version of Fullmetal Alchemist called Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which did follow the manga, and it's a lot better than the first run of that show. Same thing with Soul Eater, which that's like the only show the only show that actually read the manga past the actual anime itself, where the manga was so much better, 100%. And then the show kind of fucked it up and started doing their own thing, and the show kind of ended like in a big old flop, like a wet fart, and kind of just ended like, oh, okay, this is what they decided
like
to do.
A wet fart.
It was just like, bro, what are you guys doing, bro? Like they really fucked up Soul Eater, and I love Soul Eater. It's one of my favorite shows ever, but they really fucked it up. So like hearing that these guys are whoever's working on Promised Neverland decide to do their own thing and not follow the original story of the manga, it's just like I don't know if I should even watch it now. Am I really gonna be as disappointed as everybody else? You know, like do I want to go down that path and just waste my time where I could be watching something else that I'm gonna enjoy even more? You know.
Why does that happen? Do you guys know why that happens when they start to like stray away from the manga?
I don't know. It all really depends on what they have it planned out. Like for example, they say, like it really depends. There's a lot of variables that goes into it, but like one of the more simpler ones I guess I could think about is like let's say there's a certain amount of chapters in the manga itself, but the anime was only authorized or was only contracted for 24 episodes, right? Then they're like, okay, we only have 24 episodes to tell this story that's been going on for years and years. We're not going to have enough time in the 24 episodes to tell that story. So I guess we would just do our own thing. It typically stuff like that tends to happen, or it could be that maybe or maybe they just creatively they just wanted to they felt like maybe they want to tell their own story. Like there's a lot of variables, but the one that I tend to see or tend to feel like is that sometimes the show or like they don't get approved for as much episodes to really tell the full story, so they feel like they just kind of do their own thing.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
which is honestly I don't know. I feel like I want to watch it to the point where I want to see how bad it really is, because that's how what people are saying, that it's really, really bad. Well, not really, really bad. It's just not what people were expecting or wanting. So I want to see exactly how it differs from the manga, but at the same time, like, I absolutely love the manga. Like, it was one of the few mangas that I will forever love, and am highly considering buying the books for, and like the complete collection for, because it's that good of a manga story in general. But yeah, I don't know. Hearing all the negative stuff I did about this show, and even on livechart.me, it got a 7 out of 10 rating, which is still pretty good, but it easily should have been a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expect more out of a
Yeah, exactly.
especially after season 1.
So yeah, exactly, especially after season 1, which was such a hit. Like, it really kind of fumbled the ball from what I heard. But yeah, I mean that's essentially like pretty much all we watched from winter 2021 season. Which, I mean, the shows that you guys did watch, like, you guys picked really good shows to watch, because those were, especially AOT, like, man, that was really, really good. Rafa, you need to catch up on it. But of course, Jujutsu Kaisen, which even me and Rafa, declared was the best show of all the shows last year. Like, it was the number one show from 2020, and it is, I think, in a lot of people's minds, the best show of winter 2021 season. Of the shows that continued, like, if you're not including just new shows that came out this year, or if you're not excluding any of the old shows, then yeah, it is probably the number one within this season. Actually, I don't know. People might debate Attack on Titan. It's, regardless, it's in the top 3, if anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I will say, Rafa, we're kind of running a little late, Rafa.
Uh-oh. Are we?
Yeah, it's 10:09, Rafa. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, Rafa. You go ahead, Rafa. You tell us what that means.
Well, it looks like we are late for the news. Hey, look at that, guys. It's the anime news. I don't remember the shit that I used to say with our anime correspondents, Hector and Renee. Take it away.
Beautiful.
Take it away just sent me completely. Yeah. So I guess we'll start off by saying, this week in anime, there was a ton of announcements. Now, we're going to be saying some stuff that was announced a little bit, a while ago, but it's just stuff that we really want to talk about here on the pod. First and foremost, I want to bring up the fact that people didn't think it was going to happen. Even the creator of the show said they were not going to make any more than the 2 movies that came out. But guess what? This show is too big and makes too much money to not make more movies. My Hero Academia Movie 3 World Heroes Mission official trailer was released on March 27th, 2021. And let me tell you what, it's going to be coming out and premiere in Japan on August 6th. And wow, was this trailer just an absolute banger? Like, it got me fully hyped for the show. And the fact that I had watched movie 1 and 2 of My Hero Academia, and just how sick, absolutely phenomenal the movies were. Like, I can't wait for this movie 3, because it shows like it's super centered around Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku. So they have these brand new costumes. I mean, everybody has seen their light up costumes within like the poster trailers and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I am fully excited for this, and I just kind of wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it too, because I mean, I'm hopefully you guys saw the trailer. I'm pretty sure you guys did. So I mean, yeah, tell me what you guys think, because I know we all love My Hero Academia for sure.
Right, My Hero Academia is great. It's a really good show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I haven't seen the first 2 episodes of the season yet, which I plan to do tonight. But no, it looks cool. I haven't seen. I only saw a few parts of the second movie. I haven't seen the second movie yet, but the first one was great. I actually saw it in theaters with Alex, John, and you, Renee, right? I think you were there too, right? Yep.
Yeah, I also saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
I didn't see the second one either, yeah. So it looks cool. I like the few parts that I did see. It looks really, really cool, the second one. But, it seems like they're really doing some pretty cool stuff with these movies. They typically don't watch the anime spin-off movies. Especially like I don't know, I felt like, what's the point of watching them? They really don't connect back to the story of the main anime. That's like my main reason why I don't really enjoy watching the movies itself, but what I saw from the first movie of My Hero, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, and to really see them flex the animation from the first movie, I'm pretty sure the second one's it's even better, and the third one's gonna be even more intense and even more hype, even more awesome than the first two. So I'm for sure gonna keep an eye on it whenever when I get when I catch up to that point. Start to watch the second one. So
Yeah, so like I'm also super excited. I'm all caught up now. I just finished season 4 and then started, season 5. So I'm back into the story, I'm back into the characters. So like seeing this trailer just made me even more excited. I'm very curious to know what the heck Midoriya did, cuz like now he's being portrayed as this like murderer, like he's this wanted man, and I'm just like, "Wait, what?" Like I'm so confused.
hmm
Um, so I really want to figure out what's going on. And yeah, like their costumes look super amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see more of that. So yeah, we got to stay tuned.
definitely.
I think one of the coolest things about My Hero Academia in general is the mangaka, which is like the Japanese word for like the comic artist and the cartoonist. His name
Mm-hmm.
is Horikoshi, and my favorite thing that he does with these movies is um, it is not a how would I put this? It's not a complete spin-off. He actually puts in elements of the actual story within the movies and then uses them for like a later plot device or like something within the show itself. So, for example, movie 1, it was kind of presented as something that was like kind of a spin-off, but then you actually find out later on in the manga that, oh shit, like it actually had some kind of implications with the real world of the show, and you see that gets mentioned, not necessarily like what happens in the movie, but like people from that movie and specific people, and what they did gets mentioned within the show later on and within the manga. And then with movie 2 in particular, there's the villain itself in that show gets directly brought up in, rather the movie in the villain in the movie gets directly brought up and spoken about and is used as a huge plot device in the manga itself. So like Horikoshi deliberately makes certain stuff about the movie like factual and a part of the actual story overall, and then he just adds cool stuff to it, where he's like, hey, this doesn't have anything to do with the show, but this is cool, right? But this minor detail or this major detail, remember this because it's gonna happen in this.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this particular segment, or rather for this particular news article. But I heard Renee has one as well.
So yeah, so even more exciting news, especially for you Demon Slayer fans out there. I am also a big fan. I just actually finished the show like about a month ago, and I'm happy I'm caught up. I think the timing was perfect because now we are getting a movie, and we have a release date for it, and it's coming to the US, and I'm super excited. Um, so yeah, it's coming on April 23rd, and it's going to be in 4DX and IMAX. And what's awesome is that, yeah, the movie's going to be in Japanese with English subtitles, which is super important. Um, and yeah, like I can't wait for this movie just because it starts right at the end of season 1, which is awesome. So it's just a continuation of the story. And yeah, if you guys aren't comfortable in seeing, the movie in the theaters, which is totally understandable given the time, the film is going to be released on sale digitally on June 22nd, on Apple TV, the Microsoft Store, Vudu, and yeah, so I'm super excited. Are you guys super excited?
Yes, I can't wait for
Absolutely.
this. I'm more excited for this than the My Hero movies because
Same.
my one complaint about the My Hero movies, it's not here. This movie actually continues the main story, which is my complaint
Mm-hmm.
about anime movies. Like so, that's awesome. That's literally my only one complaint I ever have about anime movies, which is not here. It's going to continue the story. It's going to move forward. Like, there's actual plot development. Like, I cannot wait for this. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters or not. I know, just like super side, like on the side. I know Alex did bring it up. Maybe seeing it in theaters. I don't know if that's actually a thing we're gonna do as a group or not. But if I see it in the theaters, if I don't see it in theaters, it doesn't matter. Either I'm gonna
Right.
watch this April 23rd or I'm gonna watch this June 22nd. Like I'm day one. I'm watching this. Like I cannot wait. Demon
I'm
Slayer.
excited.
Like oh man. Like I when Demon Slayer first aired, which is what like last year, I think summertime. What thing was when it was airing? I wasn't on board. I watched a few. I think I watched like the first episode. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, and kind of just left it. But then eventually, I kind of came back around and watched it again, and I just fell in love with the story, the art style, the action, like the side characters are hilarious. It's just this show is what it's just that top tier shonen, which is really
Mhm.
great because we're seeing kind of a like back in the day we had Bleach, we had Naruto, we had Dragon Ball Z, we had like these the big One Piece, which is still around though, but we had like these really big shonen shows that people know for the most part, right? I feel like we're starting to get that new wave now, with Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, and now Jujutsu Kaisen. We're getting these really top tier shonen anime that are really taking the spot as the new top anime. And of course, One Piece is forever going to be there because One Piece never ends. But it's really cool to see that, and I just can't. I just want more Demon Slayer. I just want more Demon Slayer. That's movie, anime, whatever. I just need more Demon Slayer in my life.
Yeah, I'm happy. Rafa, you actually recommended this show, and I am
Oh,
so happy that I
Yes, I did.
listened to because I'm obsessed with that show. I think I binge watched it like maybe 3 days, 4 days.
oh
Nice.
wow, okay.
I was, for after seeing like the first episode, I was like, okay, yeah, like this is interesting. I wasn't completely hooked. But then you kind of follow like Tanjiro's, journey, his training, and he just gets to be like super awesome at the end, and you fall in love with all the different characters. And yes, it's such a beautiful looking show. Like
Yes.
I've cried so many times throughout this season. Like I got so attached to everyone in that show. Yes, I'm really am excited about this movie. Super excited.
I think my favorite
The
thing about
only
the go ahead.
I was gonna say like I love everybody in the show, but I kind of have a love hate relationship with what's his name, the guy
Zenitsu.
Zenitsu?
the guy that
Zenitsu?
cries, the guy that
Yeah,
cries all
Oh
the
man.
I
time.
don't like him either.
The thing
Oh
is, like, I
no.
just find him so annoying.
Yep.
He's always yelling and he's always loud. I'm like, bro, please sit down, take a breather, shut the fuck up. You're being so fucking loud right now.
I think
But
he's hilarious. So like yes,
he's
I agree he's annoying, but like sometimes
he has
like
his
me
moments where he's
yeah.
really
Mhm.
funny. But then what saves it for me, where normally I would be like, man, get away from me. I would, and then he'll do something really fucking cool. And I'm like, bro, get over here, man. Fine, keep
You're
hanging
not
out
I
with
that
love
bad.
me.
him.
Like, yeah, I can't be mad at you, especially when he gets to show off his actual skill, his actual power. The whole reason he was able to survive for so long out there on his own. Which, for people who haven't seen Demon Slayer, I'm not really gonna say what he does, but it's a really fucking cool what he can do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
I
you, you can really sum it up with that one quote. I think it was Bruce Lee said it. You can train like one kick 1,000 times, or you can learn 1,000 kicks one time, or something like that. I'm pretty sure I butchered the fuck out of that quote, but
Probably, probably.
I've never
but
heard of the quote, but you're right,
Neither have
Rafa.
I, but yeah.
yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, you get what I'm saying. So yeah.
I'm so excited.
I think one of the
Mm.
coolest things about Demon Slayer that I like is that um, it even makes you feel like feelings for the bad guys, like the villains. Like I just love how I think the word is like empathetic that Tanjiro is for like literally everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't know. I just like the way that they correlate a lot of like feelings, but the action, but the reasons behind their actions and everything like that is like it's super crazy. It's a show that I didn't think was like that you had to think that much about or like put or invest a lot of time into or invest a lot of thought into, but like that show really, really did surprise me, and 100% I agree. Like I'm super excited. I got hooked in pretty easily and pretty early on with this show. Like the art style is just absolutely beautiful. I love the way that they show like the techniques that they use, and like their powers and everything. Like it's just so sick. It is such a great show that I know all three of us highly recommend that you watch. Like
Yes.
it is just something that like you have to be excited for. But I mean,
Like out of new like the new anime, like I know Demon Slayer isn't, well, it's still fairly new, but for me that's top tier.
It definitely is.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, 100%.
Like Jujutsu Kaisen, yes, of course, but I would also put up Demon Slayer.
Yeah. I agree. I'll put. I love Jujutsu Kaisen more than Demon Slayer, but I would put it up in that top tier list. Definitely, they were both fit. They were both going to that list. That tier. They're both really good shows.
So speaking of great animes, we kind of alluded to this earlier, but there was a show that recently just announced that they're going to be having a second like part to their final season, which a lot of people were questioning because it wasn't really announced up until I think like the week before the last episode. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Attack on Titan, the final season, recently announced that I believe before episode 16 aired for sure. I don't know if it was before 15, but around the ending of this final season, they ended up coming out with, hey, guess what? So we gotcha. You thought this was the final season, but guess what? There's actually a final season part 2, and it's officially announced for winter 2022 season. So we got to wait a whole year to finish this story, but I think it's probably the wisest thing because one of the biggest complaints, and I guess I mean, people were, I don't know exactly the word I'm looking for, but people were like kind of worried about how this show would end because the manga itself had not finished yet. So people were like, how can this be the final season when the manga itself isn't done? And they hadn't announced at the time that there was going to be a split within the season for the final season. So to actually a lot of people's surprise, season 4 part 2 was announced, and I couldn't be happier because I had no idea how they were going to end it within 16 episodes. I was fully under the impression that this would have been it, and I was ready to be disappointed even further.
Yeah, I also was going to be the end, but because I started reading the manga, I was like, no way they're going to stop here. Like, I'm like, they're going to continue the story. Like, there has to be another season of this because I was going to be really upset if they ended it the way they did. You know what I mean? So I am super excited for part 2. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm glad they're doing it.
Now, Rafa, how does that make you feel considering you haven't, caught up at all? You have more to watch now, if anything.
No, but I actually like it. I have more time to watch it now, knowing that everybody else is going to have to wait until 2022 to finish the actual show itself. That's pretty good. So that means that I'm not going to be I'm going to be in the same out of loop as everybody else. Like, oh, what's gonna happen next, whatever, type of thing. It's just I just have to get there and finish season 3 and the first half of season 4. But hearing what you guys are saying, that's good to hear because the one thing that I hold really high when it comes to anime is the way they end it, the way they wrap it up. You can have the most amazing ride through the show, but if you don't stick your landing, that tends to take off huge points for me. So hearing that the show's not just going to end out of nowhere, where it sounds like they're going to finish off with the manga, which is great. That gives me some high hopes because Attack on Titan. I know I've been really behind on Attack on Titan, and actually I was the one that actually showed that to Alex, and I'm pretty sure Alex showed it to you, Renee. I actually been the worst one to kind of keep up with it. I kind of fell off really hard of it. I think around like season 2, I stopped watching. Now I'm finally starting to slowly catch up again, and I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying what I've seen, but I don't know. I feel like an old guy. I feel like an old man now with anime. I watch anime here and there, but it's not like I used to. No, I like Renee. I used to be like Hector,
Worse.
and back in high school. Back in high
Worse.
school, I used to watch so much anime. Like I would literally. Hector watches 5 hours of anime a week. I used to watch at least 10. Like I would go,
Oh
I would
wow.
deep dive. I would watch so much anime nonstop. I would marathon shows left and right. Like I have. I'm pretty sure if we made a list of how much anime we've all seen, I'm pretty sure I have the longest list here. Like I have the longest list here, like guaranteed. Like I used to watch anime like it was in my blood, you know what I'm saying? But just over time I just slowly start dropping off and just start dude, I can tell you this past season I only watched one anime and I've never done that before. And so I just feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm losing touch almost, but even though it sounds bad, every when those shows, those new shows do come on and catch my interest and they really grab hold of me, it makes them that much more special to me. I'm like, damn, you really actually got me. Like Jujutsu
Mhm.
Kaisen,
You
like
really
that.
got me.
It got me. It really got me. Like I drop a lot of shows. I watch 1, 2, 3 episodes, maybe even 5 episodes, and I eventually stop watching it. And Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, those shows are definitely be the ones that I'm waiting for every single week. Demon Slayer, every single week. I'm checking my phone. I'm checking Crunchyroll, Funimation. Is a new episode out? Time to watch it. That's just the way I'm with these 3 shows. And I don't know, Hector, if you want to go ahead and move on to this, but I was looking at the list for this season that's just started, and it's looking pretty good, man.
Oof, yes, Rafa, indeed.
It's looking pretty good. I have. This is the thing that I do, by the way. I'm like, oh man, look at these! Oh, look at all these amazing shows, and I have like a list of 10 shows, and I'm gonna watch like 2 at the end. But yeah, there's some really good looking shows this season.
Yeah, so essentially for everybody that's wondering, we're going to jump right into the spring 2021 anime. And like we used to do in the first season, we discuss what's coming out, what interests us, and then also what we think is going to be like one of the top contenders for the best show of that season. So I actually want to start off a little bit different. I'm going to put you on the hot seat, Renee. I want to hear
Oh no.
what you're looking
Dude.
for most in the spring 2021 season, and like what you think you might watch, what kind of seems interesting to you. And then the most important question, or rather the most important thing that I want you to kind of pick out of the list, right, is you have to pick one show that necessarily you wouldn't watch. Like it's like, I don't really, for example, for me, I don't really watch, I can't really say this now anymore, but I don't watch slice of lives, because that's Rafa's thing. So I'm gonna try to pick a show that, hey, this doesn't look like something I would normally go out of my way and watch. So I'm just gonna watch it, give it a 3 episode rule, and kind of just go from there.
Definitely looking forward to My Hero season 5. I watched the first episode. I'm super excited. Like that's gonna be great. Unf- there was another couple that actually stood out to me as well. I told you guys before I kind of like the thriller and the mysteries. So actually Mars Red sounded actually pretty good. I'm actually kind of excited for. Um
Mars Red.
Yeah, I'm like
yes.
looking through it to see if I can find. Oh, I
Yeah,
found it.
it,
Oh,
it
okay,
wasn't
yeah.
top tier. But it's apparently like, well, I guess it's not a very much of a thriller, but like supernatural and like there's vampires involved, which is always a win-win for me. And then there was another one. Can't lose it. There's so many good ones. I already lost it.
I just found one that says Dragon Goes House Hunting, and that just for some reason screams Rafa to me.
That sounds something I would watch.
So it's comedy fantasy shonen.
Oh, Tokyo Revengers. Sorry, which is
Oh
apparently
yeah.
another shonen action. Um, actually sounds really cool.
I was actually looking at it. It looks very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I haven't really seen too many of like the slice of life anime, Rafa. I kind of just like skip over those. 'Cause I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into it. Looks a little weird to me.
I understand. Don't worry, I got it. I'll watch it for you. I'll watch it for the crew, for everybody here. I'll watch all the slice lives.
Am I supposed to pick one that I'm not that I wouldn't normally watch?
I guess yeah. Like I mean, if you want to kind of think it over a little bit more, then Rafa can get into his.
Okay.
But it's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we try to do is that we're trying to kind of expand our viewing comfort zones, instead of just instead of me just sticking to slice of life. I would maybe watch something where it's more isekai related. I'm not the biggest fan of isekai or I don't know, I guess harem. The harem annoys the hell out of me. Sci-fi for sure, or like mechas. I'm not a big fan of mechas, stuff like that. So I would pick a show out that like I typically wouldn't watch and just give it a chance. The 3-episode rule. By the way, as now that I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and say what that is, guys. Here we have a rule, which it's a very common rule in the community of anime. It's a 3-episode rule. So whenever you're checking out a new show, and it doesn't matter if it's the new season of a show or if it's a past show they haven't seen, it doesn't matter. This rule covers all anime. Is you give it 3 episodes, right? Instead of just watching one episode and saying, this show sucks and just dropping it, give it, second episode and third episode. By the third episode, if you don't like it, then go ahead and drop it. Because by the third episode, you pretty much get the feel of the show. And for the most part, with most shows. Sometimes certain shows tend to throw a twist by episode 3. And that tends to be the hook of the show. My favorite example of this is Madoka Magica. The first 2 episodes set you up thinking that's going to be a girly magical girl type show. And then by episode 3, it's actually the complete opposite, and it's a deconstruction of that genre. It is a beautiful, one of my most favorite anime of all time. I'd highly recommend Madoka Magica and watching that. But that right there is where I learned about the 3-episode rule. So any anime you're gonna watch, please, I highly suggest you give it 3 episodes. If you don't, and this is for everybody listening, if by the 3rd episode you're not sold on anime, then go ahead and drop it. Don't waste your time on it. So, for me, I have let me count how many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 shows picked out.
Wow.
That caught my eye. Let me see. Where do I start off with? Higure Hero. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. That is the name of the show.
What a title.
What a title, right? It is a drama / romance. So that is my wheelhouse. I love drama. I love romance. I love slice of life. So that's the vibes I'm getting from here. It says Yoshida is an ordinary guy who is rejected hard by women. He spent his last 5 years having a crush on. On his way home, after getting drunk at a bar, he finds a teenage girl crouched on the side of the road. Oh, this actually sounds pretty fucking suspicious. I don't know if I'm actually gonna watch it.
Yeah, I know.
If you let these are quotes of the show here. This is the synopsis. If you let me stay at your place, you can see. Okay, I'm not watching this. Never mind. This sounds highly suspicious as fuck. This is
so I'm gonna pause you there because this is one of the most controversial animes. I was like, please, I hope he doesn't say this one, and then of course it has to be the first one.
I saw the
art style looks cool.
The art style looks nice. I'm like drama, romance. Okay, that's stuff that I like. And then as of right now, I didn't read the synopsis until right now, and I'm like, dude. Bro, it literally says if you let me stay at your place, you can sleep with me. I'm good. No thanks. Okay.
It's a story of a runaway teen girl and an ordinary 26-year-old
and a 26-year-old. Jesus fucking Christ. No thanks. Okay,
so yeah, like I was saying,
I have 9 shows. I have 9 shows on my list, though, guys. Okay, so here we go. Number 1. Please don't fuck me up, show. Rom-com. This is Osamake rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. This is a comedy. Oh, it's a fucking harem. Okay. Romance in school. Hopefully this is not as bad as the other one. See, it says the story centers around Maru. I'm not gonna try to say that last name. I'm gonna fuck that up also. An average 17-year-old high school boy who has never had a girlfriend. And the heroin battle between his beautiful first crush, Kachi, and his child. What the fuck is this? Okay.
8 shows.
Let me see what
Yeah, how are you picking these, Rafa?
I just picked it off the picture. I'm like, this looks cool.
Oh my god! Normally people do research.
Nope, I
They're
don't.
like,
This is literally how I find my anime. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. Let me tell you. It's story time with Rafa. After I finished watching Naruto, or after I really got into anime, I'm pretty sure I told this to you, Hector. I'm pretty sure I actually said this on the podcast before. But what I would do to get into new anime, I would go. Do you guys remember the electronic store called FYE?
Yes.
For your entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do is that I would go on their website, fye.com or whatever the fuck their website was, go to their anime section and go through all the anime they had for sale, and whatever cover art interested me, I would check out that show. That's what I did. So that's why I know a bunch of old ass anime that nobody else knows about, because that's the way that I got into anime after Naruto. And that's how I still watch anime now. I'm like, oh, that's a cool cover art. The name doesn't sound that weird. Let's see what this is about. Clearly, it backfires a lot because these two first picks are not. I don't know about these two first picks. Okay, all right. This one that I just read right now with the childhood friend or whatever. This is gonna be my one that I normally wouldn't see, but I'm gonna check. I'm give it a chance, Hector. Okay. From there, it is My Hero Academia, of course. Season 5. Can't go wrong with My Hero. My Hero's awesome. Love it. Can't wait to see more of it. This one, it's called Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. This is a comedy romance slice of life. I saw the trailer for this, actually. I like this. It looks pretty fucking cool. It's like, it's 2 high school kids. The girl likes to mess with the guy, tease him and shit like that, talk shit to him. My type of shit. I'm definitely gonna enjoy that. I know that for a fact. Shaman King. This is it, boys. Oh my god, you guys remember Shaman King back in the day?
Hell yeah!
Woo! It's back, baby. It's back. The only thing is that it's on Netflix and it doesn't have a release date. So that's the one thing. It says that it premieres today, but I looked it up today on Netflix and I didn't see it on there. So
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was kind of tweaking out. I was like, "There's no way that comes out today."
Yeah, so I can't wait for this. Shaman King. I love that show when I was a kid. I can't wait to see what they do with this new revamped new version of Shaman King. That's gonna be fun. Zombie Land Saga Revenge. Yes, sir. I did not know this was coming out this season. I cannot fucking wait. I love Zombie Land Saga. It is. I'm not a big fan of idol shows. But this is an idol show. By the way, Renee, an idol show is a anime where a bunch of typically high school girls get together and form an idol group and they sing and dance for most of the episode. Yes.
That was my reaction as well.
Yes. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't and you're like, oh, how are you not a big fan, Rafa? You like high slice of life and high school girls and shit like that. Like, I don't like this because like I just don't like how they stop the whole show just to have them dance and sing or whatever. It's annoying. And then like there's so many characters and like they try to sell you more on like, look how cute they are and don't you want to like hang out with them and buy their merchandise? Like, look how adorable they are. Like I hate shit like that. Right, that annoys me. But the difference between Zombieland Saga and like all the other shows, Zombieland Saga is actually really funny. And when I first started watching the show, I didn't know it was a pop idol anime because it doesn't tell you that at all. So pretty much the premise of this show from the first season is that this guy he reanimates these girls who are dead, like they died in their life. He brings them back as zombies, and then he's trying to make them into a pop idol group.
Okay.
he has to hide the fact that they're zombies. So it's kooky, it's wacky, it's silly, it's funny, it's really really funny. And I like it. It's a good show. I'm not a big fan of idol shows, but I would recommend that one. Oh boy, let's see what else I got on this freaking list. I have one, but I'm gonna save this for last because that's the one I'm actually really, really hyped about. It's the next one's called "Combatants Will Be Displaced." It says action comedy fantasy. It just looks like it's gonna be a goofy ass action anime. It's gonna be on Funimation. I haven't really seen a lot of it, but it looks really silly. Hopefully, it doesn't bite me ass and it's weird as shit. Let's see what's next. I had this one. I picked this one out because it sounds fucking hilarious. It's called Full Dive. This ultimate next gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life. That is the name of the show. So it is action, comedy, fantasy, and game. So it sounds like it's another isekai type show where someone gets stuck in a game, like a video game or whatever, like Sword Art Online or whatever. So it sounds stupid as fuck. So I'm gonna definitely check that one out. There's another one called. Is that it? No, yeah. And my last one, the one that I'm super super hyped about, and I barely found out recently that this was coming back this season, is called Megalobox 2 Nomad. Let's fucking go, man. Megalobox. Have you seen Megalobox?
I have. I saw it.
Oh my god, season 2. Aren't you hyped, man? Shut up. You're hyped, right?
I mean, I liked it. It's not the one I'm most hyped for, but I am excited to watch it though.
I cannot wait. I saw the trailer for this. I sent it to Alex and Johnny immediately because they're also fans of the show. I'm like, bro, let's fucking go. I cannot wait for this. It looks like the story's gonna be a lot. It continues off, of course, off the first season. It follows Gearless Joe. It looks like he's hitting hard times, from what he achieved in the first season. It looks like he's kind of like really fucking up his life, and now he has to kind of redeem himself once again. I'm so fucking hyped for the show. I cannot wait. This is my number one show for this season. I cannot wait for this. I fucking Megalobox is such a great show. It's a show where it's like in the future, where like it's like there's like a sport where like they're boxing, right? But they have like gears, like arm, like I don't even know how to explain it. What's that shit called when they put like metal, like fuck, I don't even know how to explain this correctly. Like like mechanical suits or whatever. Like you've seen how like people could pick up heavy shit, like fuck, how do you explain this damn thing? Help me out here.
You mean like like exosuits?
Exosuits, thank you. Like exosuits. So like they have these like the exosuits to help them punch harder. Like machinery and shit like that. And they have like a tournament where they box and stuff like that. And then this guy, Joe, he joins the tournament, but he doesn't have any of that exosuit like gear on him. He's boxing dudes without the actual gear, which is super dangerous because the other guys are hitting way harder than him. They could actually kill him. And this guy's boxing, knocking people out without the gear. It's a really, really good show. Really good story. Yeah, that's my list.
And it was a
pretty long list.
A pretty girthy one, that's for sure. Actually, funny enough, a lot of the stuff you said was the one stuff that I actually was like considering looking at too.
I don't know how many of these I'm gonna end up sticking with because I tend to drop a lot of shows. For sure, My Hero and Megalobox are gonna be shows that I'm gonna be sticking with no matter what. But the other ones, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. Like, I do want to watch them. I am hyped for them, but I tend to drop a lot of shows, so I don't know. I might be singing a different tune at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Actually, it's funny. I don't think I have as many shows as you did. Now that I think about it, I actually am kind of underwhelmed with this season. I feel like it just doesn't compete with Winter 2021. There was just so much in Winter where like now I'm like, damn, I probably have like maybe, granted it's still a lot, but like maybe 7 at most, maybe 8 shows that I want to watch. Which normally like I pretty much watch like half the shows of a season, depending on like if they look good or not to me. But of course, absolutely, the number one I'm looking forward to is My Hero Academia season 5. I essentially know everything that's going to happen this season, and I'm so excited to see it play out. It is going to be one hell of a season. I did not watch episode 1 because I heard it was like more of a recap, like, hey, this is what you might have missed, or here's a recap of so you can remember, and then we're going to get into it. Which I never liked episodes like that, but I mean, it's My Hero, so I don't care. Like, I'm super, super, super excited for My Hero. Next one is a harem, which I'm not proud that I watched, but I'm essentially invested now, so I have to watch it. It's called How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Omega.
Oh my god, you're actually watching that.
I'm invested.
You're crazy.
I watched season 1. I didn't know it was an ecchi one, and then I'm like, that doesn't help. But then the show itself is surprisingly decent, and it's dumb. It should not be as good as it is, and I say good as in like not great, like nowhere near great, but it's still watchable. The story to it is actually really interesting. From there, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's also another show that's actually controversial because people are saying that it's that she's essentially bullying the guy. So I just want to watch it because it's going to be having a lot of eyes on it, and I'm like, yeah, this looks interesting. This is the show that I would not normally watch.
See, the feeling that I get from that show, because that's the show that I also have on my list, is that she is like picking on him or whatever, but like she's slowly gonna be like, hey man, this guy's actually pretty cool or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, like it just to me screams tsundere. Like that's literally what it screams.
It's exactly what that's the vibes that I get, and I love tsunderes. That's my thing. So
yeah, I know, which is why I wasn't surprised that was on your list. But this one, like, I don't know, tsunderes aren't exactly my thing, but because of all the eyes and like how popular this show is starting to get like spoken about, I just want to check it out just to see it. Shaman King, of course. Duh. This is an obvious one that I want to watch. I've loved it when I was a kid watching it on what is it? I think it was like WB4 Kids or whatever.
Yeah, 4Kids.
Yeah, that was my jam. That was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Another show that looked interesting to me, and it had like a very weird premise, is To Your Eternity. It is an adventure drama fantasy shonen supernatural show. It says a lonely boy wandering the Arctic regions of North America meets a wolf, and the two become fast friends, depending on each other to survive the harsh environment. But the boy has a history, and the wolf is more than meets the eye as well. Yeah, I mean, I just like wolves. That's literally the reason why I want to watch this show. Oh, cool! He becomes friends with the wolf. Sick. We're watching. Now, if you know me, I love me my isekais. Absolutely love them. That's that is also my bread and butter. That is my jam. That is the jelly to my jam, actually. And this one is a comedy fantasy isekai, which is why I want to watch it. It is called I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level. And I read the synopsis, which is why I want to watch it. An at-home comedy about a powerful girl who doesn't work too hard. After dying of overwork in the real world, I'm reincarnated as an immortal witch, and I spent 300 years enjoying a relaxing life. At some point, though, I ended up leveling up to 99. All those years spent killing slimes to make the money to pay the bills gave me a ton of experience points. Rumors of the level 99 witch spread, and soon I'm up to my ears in curious adventures, duelists, dragons, and even a monster girl calling me her mother. This isn't a dojo, so don't come here to fight me. I've never been on an adventure, but I'm the strongest in the world. What's going to happen to my relaxing life? It sounds dumb, but I want to watch it.
It sounds really fucking dumb.
It sounds dumb, but I want to watch it. It's one of those like guilty pleasures. You know what I mean?
I might actually enjoy this show.
Yeah, it looks dumb, and it's an isekai, but the fact that it's based around comedy is what
Yeah.
is. I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
I like the comedy, the goofy take on it.
Yeah, and then another one which I have my I think gripes is the right word, but it's like I'm very cautious of this show is Eden Zero. It is essentially it's a copy paste with futuristic and other elements to it, but it's a copy paste of Fairy Tale. Um, It's set in like the future, and they added like a bunny instead of like they took elements and literal characters from Fairy Tale and just dropped them into like a spaceship world. Hey, this is Eden Zero, and I'm like, dude, what? And a lot of people actually don't like it, but a lot of people are like looking at it like, all right, we'll see what it is. Apparently the creator and the director for Fairy Tale was like, oh, thank God I'm done with this show, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna make a a rebranding of it. You're stuck with us forever, and I feel so bad for him, but he's directing and drawing this piece, so I want to watch Eden Zero just to see if it's any good as Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale had some iconic moments, so I'm like, this might be the one. Higuro, after being rejected, yeah, that one I also looked at. I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, and then I did what Rafa didn't do, which is read the synopsis, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'll pass on this one. And then obviously,
I learned my lesson.
Megalobox 2 Nomad, yeah, definitely was super excited for that. 8686, it is a drama sci-fi. It is called a War Without Casualties. The Republic of San Magnolia has long been under attack from the neighboring Gadian Empire's army of unmanned drones known as the Legion. After years of painstaking research, the Republic finally developed autonomous drones for their own, tuning their one-sided struggle into a war without casualties, or at least that's what the government claims. Looks weird. The art style looks cool. The synopsis sounds weird, but the art style looks cool. And then that's kind of where like everything kind of starts to come to a halt, because all the other shows don't really sound too interesting to me, besides one that Renee mentioned, which was Mars Red. I was also looking at that. I do like vampire shows as well, like vampire animes, so I was like, ooh, this looks cool, and I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, sick, I'm watching this. And I like the fact that it's set in like 1923, so it's like, yeah, I definitely like the historical supernatural vampire vibe. And then the only other one that I honestly sounds really interesting too is like drama Seinen. I have no idea what that is, Rafa. The Seinen. Slice of life and supernatural. It is made by Cloverworks, and it is Shadow House. A faceless clan lives in a large mansion masquerading as nobles. Their caretakers are living dolls who spend their days cleaning up the dirt the tenants leave behind. But there's a deeper mystery at play, and the secret of the house will be unveiled. Yeah, the art style looks cool. Like there's like people with like literally like faces covered with like black splotches, and then just kids that look like dolls at the bottom. I don't know. This season of Spring 2021 didn't really like stand out to me as like a great one, but I feel like it is being carried off the backs of My Hero and Shaman King. I don't know if you feel anywhere the same, Rafa or Renee. I feel like My Hero is like definitely the show where like
this season, I feel like this season has a lot of really cool stuff out there, and it's a lot of variety on top of that. You have there's a lot of comedy for sure. There's the drama, there's the slice of life anime. There's some romance in there too, but of course the big heavy hitters, it's My Hero and stuff like that. So like I feel like this one's just it's very it's a lot of variety this season. So I think that's a good thing, because hopefully I actually keep up with some of these shows. I think it's good. I think it's gonna be a good season. I have hope for this season.
And yeah, like you guys have watched way more anime than I have. I don't usually watch anime in this way. Like I don't really follow seasons. I kind of honestly just watch whatever looks intriguing, like on Netflix or Hulu or any of those streaming services, and that's how I watch anime. So like this is definitely like a new way of just seeing like what's coming out. But as I was going through the winter 2021 list, I thought that season was a little bit more interesting than what I'm like reading for this season. But I'm also just very new to this. There's a lot that I have not seen. But yeah, I mean, besides like My Hero, which I've seen, like I'm watching. That's the only one I'm very like familiar with.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, it's just so cool that like we get like that perspective, right? On like you were like, hey, this is something completely new, and like I guess because I know I've tried to explain like the idea of seasons 2 to other people, and they're like, wait, what? Like, it's not just you find it and that's it. It's like
exactly.
Yeah, it's like there's like lists and all this crazy stuff that comes out, and they're like, hey, so we plan to. Well, I guess kind of in the example of Attack on Titan, like, hey, we're coming out this winter 2021, and then expect it in a year, which normal people are like, all right, cool, I just gotta wait a year, but they say it by like saying winter 2022, and then they're like, well, what do you mean, like December of 2022? It's like, no, well, actually winter season's January to March, and then they're like, huh? And so it's a just kind of shows how like crazy anime can be and just how many layers there are to it. And yeah, I mean, Rafa, go ahead. I know you were gonna say something as well.
No, I was just gonna say it's really cool to get that perspective of Renee, where like you said, Renee, you're just more used to kind of just finding things like on Netflix or on Hulu, and now you're kind of jumping in to how Hector and I have been watching anime for years, and this is something that I kind of just started doing on my own, which I'm pretty sure everybody who really takes that really deep dive into anime starts doing it themselves, where they start finding out like, oh, there's seasons, and each season has a number set of new shows, and you start looking into the shows themselves, and you start doing what Hector's doing, what I used to do too, watching 10 shows at once or whatever. I'm not saying that's the path that you're gonna go down, Renee, because everybody has their own paths, right? Everybody does their own thing, and especially a lot of us who went down that path, we did that in high school where we had more time to do things, right? Now we're all adults, so we're more busier nowadays. I don't expect Renee to come back here next week and be like, hey guys, I'm watching 20
everything.
shows. Exactly. I'm all the way caught up on all the shows, and I know more than Hector and Rafa now, and check it out, guys. Look at all this. Like, no. But I don't. Hopefully, you do find some of these shows, and you do find interest in them, and start kind of following them on a weekly basis. You don't have to stick with them every week. Like I said, I tend to drop a lot of shows and go back and tend to marathon some of them when I actually catch my interest once again. So like there's no real specific way of, oh, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. Like Hector, he tends to keep up with his shows every week. I tend to keep up shows every week, the ones that I really really like.
Right,
if it's something that I like, I'm kind of interested in, but I'm not 100% there. I might let the episodes kind of stack up a little bit, maybe 5 episodes in, maybe go back and check it out to see if I do like it or not. Or like with Demon Slayer, the whole show finished airing, and then I watched it later on after it aired. So there's no real specific way to do it, other than like, let's say we're like, hey, watch this show for the podcast. Other than that, like you kind of do your thing. But so hopefully you do find some shows in here that you do enjoy. It'll be really cool. I really want to see where do you expand upon to the anime genres or whatever. Like what else will catch your interest? Because it sounds like for the most part you really just stick to shonen anime, which is like the action anime, like Naruto and stuff like that, right? Like or My Hero. I want to see, and well, now you also did say you're into more like the drama, not drama, but like mystery thriller type thing. So that's just really cool diversion. But I want to see what other shows you kind of get yourself interested in. What else? What other stuff you kind of get into yourself? Who knows? Maybe you're gonna be like me and you love slice of life. Who knows?
I hope not.
Just like, no, that's not me.
Looking at this list and like looking at those, like I'm not, those pictures, like I can't get into that.
Is it the art style? What's the reason why?
The art style and just how the people are being portrayed, and
Okay,
care.
okay. Please don't confuse slice of life with like harem and like fucking like that weird one that I said in the beginning where the dude's hanging out with that little girl. Believe me, I hate shows like that. Like I don't. There's this one anime. That's the thing, that fucking anime could get really fucking weird sometimes. I'm like, man, please, can you just like not do this? But it's out of our control. This is one anime I remember was airing this certain season where this high school girl she falls in love with her teacher, and she's trying to go out with the teacher or whatever, right? And she's trying to like woo the teacher to go out with her, and I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing, bro? Like, this is fucking weird. Like, yes, it technically falls under slice of life, but like that's not what I tend to gravitate towards.
That's not what I'm here for.
I'm here for I like more like just like comedy, just people kind of hanging out, having a good time, kind of bullshitting around. Like my favorite slice of life anime of hands down of all time is K-On! I've brought this up 1,001 times. It's just a group of high school girls who play music and just hang out, and you just see their antics. It's a very wholesome show. Like they're not like being sexualized, or they're not like, there's no weird shit,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm trying to defend slice of life because it sounds like you're kind of like you're mixing it with like other things, and like harems. Like harems get on my fucking nerves, because harems is like, it's the main guy or it's the main girl, and then they have like 10 people following them around, trying to get in their pants or whatever, and then a bunch of stupid shit happens, and then like, bro, to me it's like, if you want to see shit like that, just look up porn. Why blue ball? Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's
absolve yourself of your sin. Just stop it.
It's annoying. It's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying, especially when it's like the ecchi harem stuff. Like, bro, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, if I would have to compare it to something, it's like, how like on Twitch, you have those like the Twitch streamers, like the girls who are like in their bikinis or whatever, they're just kind of hanging out talking to the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
I've never watched those, but yes, I
Okay, I've never watched them myself. Okay, I'm not saying here I'm watching that, in Twitch, but like, it's a very popular thing in Twitch, right? Where these girls are just kind of hanging out, doing that. Just go watch porn. I don't know. Just go watch porn. That's what I'm saying. Why?
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Why are you exactly? You Twitch watching this girl under in her bikini or whatever, just talking to chat, and you're like, oh man, this is pretty cool. You can just go watch porn. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of pocket.
Maybe they're there just to have a conversation, be a part of the community. Maybe they enjoy the yoga demonstration. You never know.
Maybe I'm out of pocket, and maybe I sound like a fucking weirdo, but whatever. That's just the way I feel about things, and especially with harems. The harems tend to annoy the hell out of me.
There's some wholesome harems. I couldn't name you one, but I'm sure there's a wholesome harem somewhere. I mean, yeah, I think what I'm more interested in is, I'm honestly not expecting you to like slice of life, because there are like occasional ones where I'll like them, but like that's not my shit. Like, I don't want to go out there and be like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what the new slice of life is this season. It's like, let me get action. Let me see what's up. But yeah, I guess
like that's what I'm accustomed to. Like, and Rafa, I'm not trying to diss, any slice of life anime. Fine. I've never given it a fair shot. I'm so accustomed to just the action and the like, I like what I like, so like to kind of venture out of it's kind of like like, why do I have to, or like, I'm just skeptical about getting into other genres, but I haven't given many genres a fair chance.
Right. And believe me, slice of life gets shit on more than anything. I know that. Like, I'm not gonna take it like, I can't believe you said that. Like, I get it, and they tend to, and yes, then they tend to have some fucking weird shit out there too. But like I said, like I just kind of want to see where your journey is going to become. Mm-hmm. What you eventually will get into. I'm not gonna say you have to watch this or you gotta watch that. I'm not like trying to force certain shows or genres on you. I just want to see what you evolve into, what you personally get into if you decide to venture out. If you want to stick just to shonen, then you stick to shonen. Like that's what you like, you know. Like I said, like my bread and butter is, you know, slice of life comedy shit. You know, that's what I tend to enjoy the most. But, you know, then I also watch other shit too. Eventually, you know, like Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just want to see where, if you do, I want to see what catches your eye, what catches your interest. Like I was surprised that you said you like mystery and thriller earlier today.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not, because remember she brought up Hunter or no Monster.
Ooh, I did recommend Monster.
She did.
And
She
that
did,
was a
but-
dope show. I remember that one.
I
That
didn't.
was dope.
I didn't think. I didn't have like a second thought. I was like, yeah, she just must have heard of this really cool show called Monster, you know. But like for her to be like, yeah, mystery thriller is something I'm really enjoying in anime. It's like, oh yeah, that's really cool, because there's some really cool mystery thriller anime out there too. It's like then Psychopaths is a really good one. That's like action.
I've heard of it. Mm-hmm.
If you're looking more for more like psychological, I forgot the name of it, but it's a really good one. But there's some mystery and thriller has some really cool stuff out there for anime specifically too. So some really wacky kind of mind bending stuff out there. So it's a really good genre too.
Okay. I would say this has become quite a lengthy one, so I feel like we should probably start to wind down a bit and kind of get towards that end. But of course, we're gonna end off with everyone's favorite segment. No, guys, it has not gone anywhere. We're gonna keep it till the end of time. It is time, Rafa. Are you ready? For Anime Swap. Oh, I missed that. All right, so as you can guys obviously have been able to tell, we have 3 people now. So back in the day, Anime Swap would just be me and Rafa switching between, hey, you watch this, I watch this. So we give it 3-episode rule and then come back next episode and discuss what we thought. This go around, we feel like that it'd be a lot of anime. Essentially, everybody would get 2 animes as homework. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have one person each week give out a recommendation for anime for the other 2 to watch. It could be something that they never watched. It could be something that they have watched. It's just something like, hey, you know what? This looks interesting. You watch it. Tell me how it is. Or it could be like, hey, this is one of my favorite animes. I want you guys to watch it and tell me what you think. So with this week, I'm going to start it off and give you guys an anime that I absolutely love, and I have already mentioned on this pod. I want Rafa to see what Rafa thinks on this, his bread and butter, and I want Renee to dip her feet in and see what she thinks of this one as well, because I think it is a great example of slice of life. It is once again a comedy romance school shonen slice of life called Horimiya. Horimiya, just to give you the synopsis for everyone who is here, is a secret life is the one thing that they have in common. At school, Hori is a prim and perfect social butterfly, but the truth is she is a brash homebody. Meanwhile, under a gloomy facade, Miyamura hides a gentle heart, along with piercings and tattoos. In a chance meeting, they both reveal a side they've never shown. Could this blossom into something new?
Ooh,
Indeed.
I'm so nervous.
I am. I think I saw the first episode of this. Either the first or the second episode. So I have an idea going in what this is going to be.
Yeah. So I absolutely love this show. Like I said, it was my absolute favorite show of last season, which is really surprising because ReZero was there and Reincarnated as a Slime was there, but I was fully invested in these characters. I loved every single one. There's about 9 main characters within the show, and you bounce around between them, so it's not like you're just following the 2 people that were mentioned in the synopsis, but it is really, really wholesome. It is funny. The comedy is there. The characters get like really big development throughout every episode. It's not like you just stick to these 2 people, but it's like you stick to these 2 people, but you see the effects of others around them and their surroundings and how they develop. And of course, it's set in high school. And so you see like the change from, I guess, is it adolescence to adulthood, something like that? They go from, teens to adults and just kind of, they learn real world experiences and things like that. It's really, really cool. And I will say that one thing to kind of look out for, one of my favorite things about the show is the way they show feelings and emotions. They have a very unique and very beautiful way of expressing emotions and feelings through color and through scenes. So keep an eye out for that. Is pretty much all I want to say when it comes to that. But I hope you guys like it, and if you don't, I want to hear why. And I definitely want to hear more about that next week for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a good recommendation because Hector doesn't really like slice of life like that. So for him to say that he really enjoyed this show, I take that as a really high recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've recommended Hector so many slice of lives, and a lot of them he's come back to me like, I'm not liking it. I don't know about this one, stuff like that. So for him to say, okay, this is a really good one, I think this might be a home run here.
Hopefully, that's what we're hoping. But the one I'm most interested to hear from is definitely Renee. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited yet nervous, but let's see. I mean, what if I really do love this? That's gonna be something.
Everybody will be surprised.
I'll be surprised, yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, like everybody who is listening, besides us three, of course, 3 episodes we go in, we watch it, and then we come back and convene and discuss and be like, hey, within the 3 episodes, this is what I really like, this is what I didn't like, and
am I gonna keep watching it? Am I not gonna keep watching it? Stuff.
Or
like
is it gonna be like a back burner anime, which
right? It's something that I plan to watch in the future, but not something that I feel like I gotta watch now. Stuff like that. Also, Renee, we forgot to bring it up earlier. When we talk about like the seasons of what we're gonna watch this season or whatever, we tend to have the 3-episode rule for all the shows that we want to watch. We do have a rule in place. If one of the shows that you're watching, you just can't take it and you don't feel like you want to watch all 3 episodes, you have one show you can drop.
Okay.
So not for Anime Swap, but for all the other shows that we're talking about earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, because there's this one, I forgot which season was. I think it was like maybe 3 seasons ago.
We dropped a lot of animes one season. I forgot which one it was.
No, but remember the one with the doctor with the monster girls?
Oh yeah, we thought it was gonna be like Monster Musume, but it was not.
Right? No, it was not. It was a piece of hot shit garbage, and I could not finish the first episode. And I was like, "Yep, I'm using my I'm using my get out of jail free card here. I am not watching this show. I'm not gonna say it for another 2 episodes."
So. Yeah, so trust you. You'll have the get out of jail free card for one show. Truthfully, I mean, if the shows that you like pick are really that unbearable, because I've definitely dropped more than one, but like, yeah, it just really depends. It's like some shows are like a really hit or miss, and then others are like, oh, this looks great, and then like completely disappoint you.
Yeah, but also I feel like Renee's gonna be more picky towards this season. Like you and me are kind of just we deep dive and kind of just go for almost anything. I feel like Renee's gonna be more specific on what she watches, so she might not even use the get out of jail free card.
I will say this season did not have a lot of shonen, which I really love shonen, and from everything that Renee said, she does too. So I'm kind of disappointed there isn't much more shonen, but it has one of the biggest shonens out there, which is My Hero. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, guys.
I already know. Oh no, no, go ahead. I was gonna say something, but I need to fully think out this thought. So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I actually watched an episode of one of the shows that are part of the spring season, and that's Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood.
What is it?
Well, yeah, I don't even know what that one is. Hold on.
It's an action, historical, supernatural. I think it was Crunchyroll who posted it. Someone posted it on Facebook, and the first episode was out. And I was like, oh, okay, kind of looks interesting. So yeah, I watched the first episode. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's cool that it's part of this season.
I don't think I saw it on the list.
Actually, you know what's funny? A lot of the shows that I've maybe seen have been from like clips that they put on Crunchyroll, Facebook, or like Twitter. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that looks cool, and then I watch and I'm like, oh, that's actually not that bad. And then I actually like get, oh, I see it. Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why I definitely looked over this one. I don't like the art style. It looks.
Yeah, the art style was a little weird, but I was like, you know what? Like, let me just check it out. Like,
So what about that clip made you want to watch it?
So I don't know too much about the characters yet, but I saw in the clip the main character like kind of like transforms, and she's fighting this beast. And yeah, she transforms by this bird like landing on her arm that gives her some sort of ability, and she just like murders this beast who ends up who was once a human that she knew. And she ended up killing him. And that was the trailer. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, this seems
that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, like the fact that like this was a person she knew, but he was this completely different thing. And she had to battle him because he didn't really recognize her at first because someone's controlling him at some extent. But yeah, that was what happened in the first trailer. I wasn't blown away by the art style as well, but the plot seemed pretty interesting.
Oh, this looks cool.
Maybe we just added another one to Rafa's list.
I don't know. I like the whole. I actually kind of like the art style. It kind of like goes from like really clean to like very like kind of like sketchy.
Yes, that's a good term.
Where the lines are not so clean. I kind of like that. I like it. Okay. I'm add this to the list.
Yeah, if you guys watch it, the only thing that I've noticed right away was when there's a part where she transforms, that scene is really weird and awkward. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
I think I can gather what you're talking about. Yeah.
Other than that, it was pretty cool so far.
Okay, I'm putting it on the list too.
So I know I just saw one that maybe Alex might like. It's called Godzilla Singular Point.
Oh Lord, yeah, he'll probably love it.
Yeah, I was about to say it's literally Godzilla. But yeah. I mean, any closing statements from anybody that would like to say anything? Feel free.
I'm gonna recommend Renee all types of anime. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I'm up for the challenge.
Yes, I'm gonna recommend you from shonen to slice of life. I'm gonna pick up the ones I think that.
He said, "I'm gonna send you a bunch of animes. Picks only 2 genres."
Yeah. I'm thinking next week, Fire Force.
Oh my god, yes, that is a sick one. Yeah, it's your turn, and then we'll do me, you, Renee. Renee, have you watched Tokyo Ghoul?
I have not. I've heard of it.
Lord have mercy. This is going to be a good time. It's going to be a good... Oh, okay. Rafa knows what I'm trying to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go. Yeah, so I'm thinking Fire Force for like the shonen. I do want Renee to watch K-On! I'm afraid she's going to hate it, but I want her to just experience my love of K-On! So... Hector, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna recommend you. I'm gonna have to look into what to recommend you again.
Yeah, we have to dive deep into the pool. Oh man, have you watched One Punch, Renee?
Yes.
Okay.
I've only watched the first season. I didn't finish season 2.
Season 2 was alright. Season 1 was lit.
I think like season 2 came out when like My Hero came out. Maybe I'm wrong. But,
yeah,
like,
no,
I
you're right.
Ended up liking My Hero instead.
Yeah. One Punch season 2 came out like during season 4, I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel that heavy, but no, for sure, 100%. Yeah, this is gonna be super super fun. Okay, I guess we give final shout outs, right, and then we can just kind of wrap it up.
For sure.
All right, so I guess I'll just start with that. Thank you everybody so much, of course, for listening and tuning in. We missed you guys. It has been a fat minute since we were here and in your ears. That is. I did not mean for that to rhyme.
I like that.
Bars.
Right.
But I'm not a rapper. But yeah, guys. So once again, thank you so much for sticking with us, and hopefully we can grow this community even more. Absolutely huge shout out to Renee. It's definitely huge, something new, and we are both of us are super excited to have you here, and we can't wait to go on this journey.
I'm so excited. I'm excited to start my anime journey. So
exactly. We're going to be dipping toes in new animes and and not liking others too. But you know, it is what it is. But it is what it is. And yeah, also once again, shout out to you guys for listening. Shout out to everybody who has shared the socials. And if you do, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification to get the notification on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer. And oh, that's right. Make sure to tag us on Twitter, on our Discord, on anything, and talk to us. Get involved in the community, as well as a huge shout out to the Play and Pod with Alex, John, and Rafa, the Geek Jar boys. They are the homies, so you already know that we gotta shout them out as well. And Rafa, anything else you want to add? It's been a minute since we closed, so I'm kind of rusty at this.
I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh, I was just thinking about it too. Let's see. We did the playing pod. Oh, yeah, I just remembered. If you guys listening have any anime you guys want to suggest to us, anything that we haven't seen yet, or you want to get our opinions about, let us know on the Twitters, or if you're in the Discord, just shoot us a message or whatever. I would love for us to take recommendations. I mean, the last one we took back in season 1 was Jay's. It was that Korean drama.
Terrible idea.
Which was not good.
Regrettable.
But if you're willing to take the chance of us shitting on your favorite show, shoot us a recommendation. That'd be pretty fun to kind of check out what other people are watching, not just us three. Anything else? Well, you plugged their Twitter.
I have one
Hector streams on Twitch. Ultra_V-Man. I also stream every blue moon. It's at Rafabot Gaming. Check us out. We have a lot of fun on there. Renee, anything you want to plug? Anything you want to people search out?
Not really. You guys are usually the plug, so.
Oh no, I got one for you, Renee. I got one for you. Check out Artist and Gamer.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I make mugs, guys.
They make some sick mugs. I have a Pokemon one. It is sick. It's Cafecito and it's like a purple Pokemon card inside. Trust, guys. Check it out. Artist and Gamer. Look them up on Instagram, right? There's an Instagram page. There's a Facebook.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, but yes, our Etsy shop as well. So.
Do you guys do custom work? Or is it not like a thing just yet?
It's not something we promote, but if you do have an idea and you want something custom, we can definitely talk about it.
Nice. I only asked because I got a custom mug with my face on there. So
oh yes,
that
you did.
Is gross.
It's beautiful. I have it cherished. I have it in the box. I don't want to take it out the fear of breaking it. I have it stored away forever and ever. I'm gonna pass it down to my grandchildren.
Okay.
Oh Lord, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. No, but they make some really cool stuff. Like my friend Nathan, he has the little bird guy from what's that fucking
Animal
game?
Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Thank you so much. So there's some really cool stuff, guys. If you guys want some really cool designs, man. Some of the stuff you guys be busting, I'm like, man, these guys are really putting in work on these designs. I really love the stuff you guys got going on. So if you guys want some mugs that are not too expensive with some really awesome designs on there, a lot of gamer meme focused mugs, check them out. They have some really cool stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. And that's it, guys. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and letting us be in your ears. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, goodbye.